all of them this morning. I'm ready for red, yellow, green, black. I'm ready for all of them this morning. I listened to my friend Lavon King, and I started wondering to myself, what was Lavon's role? Lavon, I love you. You know you're my woman still. I just the camera there. I say, you know you're my woman still, Lavon. I'm saying that to you now. But I wondered, what was your role in going part of the delegation, being part of that delegation? That's the first thing. I listened to the other Lavon, this time Lavon Velox, and I was like, she did well. Her presentation was good. But Kylie need to, I'd make that proper adjustment there, please. Yes. And I listened to Dr. Friday. And Dr. Friday was calm, very composed. He wasn't cussing. He wasn't shouting. He ain't tell nobody, stick breaking your ears, you don't, you chup it out. He was very calm. In terms of some of his points that he made, I still am asking the question, if you pull out a number of these taxes, how are we going to pay for all of these great, magnificent ideas that you're proposing? But very calm, very composed, unlike how I get sometimes. Like you listened to Dr. Friday last night, and he was prime ministerial, he was presidential like. Very calm. He didn't raise his voice, he ain't cuss nobody. Even when he was ambushed and a man in the crowd come and ask a question, he said, let him speak. Let the man ask his question, and he responded. And apparently, the man may have left the room after he asked his question. That was like something that was set up. So he was very, like somebody who you would, I would have enjoyed hearing more of Dr. Friday last night, because he made you want to listen to him. Right? In a very composed manner, in a very calm, in a very, civilized. Thank you, kid. Yes, like I say, you ain't say stick breaking ears. You chop it out.
No other time in that.
No, you chop it out. You think I saw? Eh? Stick breaking ears. What? You went to school? What? Oh. He wasn't like that. Neither was he like when a question was asked, ask Ralph. Remember that? Why you don't ask Ralph? It wasn't like that either. He was very calm. And I was like, I think I'm, because you know me, I jab Dr. Friday. I say that Dr. Friday is not a leader. I think that he's a poor leader when it comes to making decisions. That I think that he's not good. That's not one of his strong qualities. But last night I listened to him, and he was like, I saw it, and I'm like, I could see him playing that role last night, the way he came across. But of course, Dr. Friday's leadership style, and within the party and the management of the party, I wonder about Dr. Friday in the decisions that he makes. They say Dr. Friday is not a one-man type of leader who make decisions by himself, and he allow everybody to make decisions. So in other words, People like Dr. Friday just have a meeting to have a meeting to have a meeting to make a decision. And I wonder, and I question again, which I've asked before, is there a problem within the NDP where Fitz-Bramble is concerned? Is Fitz-Bramble deliberately being sidelined? Is there a problem? And only remember, listen to my words carefully, please. Is there a problem in the hierarchy of the NDP with Fitz-Bramble? Is there a one side against that side there in the NDP? Please, only remember this election coming in. All these things might come out. Remember Ben Joseph asked these questions. Is there a problem with Fitz-Bramble and members of the NDP? Is he being deliberately sidelined, pushed aside? And for what reason, if so? Because I do not understand why a man like Fitz-Bramble wasn't part of that delegation. I don't understand. At first I heard that Cummins was going, but there was no Cummins there. So why not Fitz-Bramble? Why Lavon? Is Lavon going to be a candidate? Is she a member of the Senate? Is she a senator? Is she a member of parliament? Are they promoting Lavon to run? And I ponder and I'm wondering on all these things, and maybe I may get some answers this morning. Because the people them on the live may answer me. I don't know. But as I said, Dr. Friday last night, calm, composed. I listened to his entire presentation. I wasn't turned off at all. I didn't hear, why not ask Ralph? Go ask Ralph on an economic question. I didn't hear, you stupid tower, boy, you stupid tower. What kind of stupid question you ask me? Stick breaking ears? I didn't hear none of that. I heard calmness. But my question is, when I listen to his content and what he going to cut and VAT and duties at the port and all of these things, how are we going to pay for all these nice, beautiful projects and ideas and wonderful things that I'm hearing that I want for the young people and for the country? How are we going to pay for all of them? And I know last time I said that they come and tell me we go borrow loan, but Dr. Friday said we are a country, we don't want to continue to be a country of beggars and going out and taking a host of the loans. So if we ain't going to do that, how are we going to pay for these things? I see the man from the motherland, he's calling me. Did you guys send the link for him? Tell you what, let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. We come right back because it's now time for Juma. I don't think that he has the link as yet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send him the link. Stand by Juma. Don't harm. Let me find out what. Let me stand by. So let's take a break right now and let's take a quick ad and come back, and I got more to talk about this morning. That the ULP people are going to, they will, well, it's now they're going to hang me up and there's no, well, let me go. Let's take the ads and come right back. Let's go, kid. Let's start.
Sandals St. Vincent and the Grenadines opens March 2024. Are you ready to be a part of the world's best sandals team? For our Vincentians home and abroad, come join us and embark on a rewarding journey in hospitality right here. The team who invests in your future, providing career opportunities, training, education, and a host of amazing benefits you need to make your big dreams a reality. With dozens of careers to explore and programs designed to take you to the next level, there is no better time than now to become a part of the Caribbean's leading hotel brand at home in beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Join our family and explore an amazing life at Sandals.
Brooklyn, New York, get ready, cause it's time to go back. On Saturday, October 28th, everybody's heading to Woodsy's, 1133 Clapson Avenue, as we get ready to go back in time. Now we do this Vincy style. Hey, the bar freezing cold and the kitchen always open. And hey, on the way from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, get ready for the legendary Two Cool Race. Brooklyn, this is your turn. 1133 Clarkson Avenue for the biggest back in time jam ever. Woodsy's Bar, Brooklyn, New York. Get ready. Ready.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
News flash. A new shipment of Piccadilly shoe styles at 25% discount have just arrived at Lane's department store. Tired of feet aching from shoes that look good but don't fit right? Look no further. You will love Piccadilly shoes. Why? Because Piccadilly shoes are designed to love your feet. Say goodbye to discomfort and step out in affordable comfort and style in a Piccadilly shoe. Piccadilly shoes available only at Lane's department store.
Protect the children. Yeah. Don't be afraid to speak out. Teach the kids their rights. Physical and sexual abuse must stop. Join me in this fight now. I want you to see suspect say among friends and families. See suspect say in the schools and communities. Children are the future. They depend on you. Report to the authorities, that's what you should do. You see the signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect say, among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
Are you looking for that honesty, reliability, and professional services that can give you a peace of mind? Look no further than Amalgamated Security Services, your cash-in-transit experts. Don't let the things that are important to you stay unsecured. Contact us at 784-456-4824 or visit us in Arnesville, opposite Thomas Wholesale. Amalgamated Security, your peace of mind partners.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
FastPay, 2 minutes and you're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Fly this summer with Inter-Caribbean Airways. Flights from St. Vincent to St. Lucia, Grenada, Barbados, and onward connection to Dominica, Antigua, St. Kitts, and Guyana. To book your flight, visit intercaribbean.com or your preferred travel agency. Inter-Caribbean, connecting you and the Caribbean.
Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for relaxation, unwinding, and socializing at Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill. Immerse yourself in our vibrant ambiance and savor the exceptional flavors of our delicious menu. Our menu is a treasure trove of flavors, offering an extensive selection of wines, liquors, cocktails, mocktails, shots, and mouth-watering dishes. Get ready for a taste of Vincentian hospitality like never before. We're open Monday to Saturdays from 3 p.m. until Hotel Alexandrina's Culture Bar and Grill, where flavors come to life.
Welcome to Lane's Hardware Plus Arnesville for convenient shopping and parking. Where are we? Turn off at Arnesville Technical College Gap. One-stop shopping for house and home. Harris Cement at great prices. Lumber 2, from premium to regular. Value for every pocket. steel, also at competitive prices. Hardware Plus, tools of every type, household appliances and furnishings, paints, goods as far as the eye can see. I told you everything. See you soon. A warm welcome awaits you. Hardware Plus.
Brooklyn, New York, get ready, cause it's time to go back. On Saturday, October 28th, everybody's heading to Woodsy's, 1133 Clapson Avenue, as we get ready to go back in time. Now we do this Vincy style. Music by New York's finest DJ. The bar freezing cold and the kitchen always open. And hey, all the way from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, get ready for the legendary Race. Brooklyn, this is your turn. 1133 Clapson Avenue for the biggest back in time jam ever. Woodsy's Bar, Brooklyn, New York. Get ready.
The Patriot Company Limited. With services like terrazzo construction, terrazzo restoration, terrazzo maintenance, concrete grinding, pressure washing, janitorial services, carpet cleaning, home and office cleaning. We offer services at affordable prices. Call us for all your janitorial services and terrazzo services. It's the Patriot Company Limited, Green Hill, P.O. Box 2046, Kingstown, VC 0100. Or you can contact us at 457-6650 or 457-2057. Or email the Patriot Company Limited at gmail.com or ncjackson4753@gmail.com. The Patriot Company Limited. Service at its best.
The National Lotteries Authority introduces the Lotto app for all Android and iPhones. Your free download available at nlasvg.com. Whether at home, work, or simply having fun, get all NLA game results at your fingertips. View all draws of the National Lotteries Authority on your handset or tablet with the user-friendly Lotto app. Download today at nlasvg.com. The Lotto app.
It doesn't matter your race,
Age,
sex,
sexual orientation,
gender identity,
religion, class,
Political opinion.
or any other status.
we are all Vincentians.
all Vincentians deserve to be treated equally in dignity, rights, and respect.
A message from Equal Rights, Access and Opportunities, SVG Inc.
I got Kongso coming up in just a bit. Shady, let's drop in one while we bring Kongso in. All right?
When you hear the rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum, in the engine room. It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun. In the engine room. Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. Jamming. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on wassy.
Hey boy, Bill going to Parliament to take off tints off a vehicle. What do you think? While we await Kongso, we got him? Let me know when he backstage.
Ooh, yeah. Well, how else we will survive if we don't create the vibes? This is a big part of our life.
I know they're cussing me about Fitz Bramble, but I am still saying, what going on in the party? Where all the treating Fitz up? Where was Cummins? He was on the flyer. Why he wasn't in New York? Nobody has said nothing.
Find a way. No more fight down, we got a unify. Let them keep the money, we not taking back.
Are you ready? He backstage. All the way from the motherland, bring his drop and let's go.
Plain talk. Plain.
Go on, go ahead. His drop.
Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now.
On OMG. Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now.
On OMG. Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now.
On OMG.
not in, so Kid is playing the role of DJ this morning. Bring back the engine room in the background there while we sort this out, please. All right, and let's bring Kongso in. He's already in. Kongso, are you hearing us? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Kongso, are you hearing me?
Yes.
All right, he looks like we're not hearing him in studio. I don't know if you guys are hearing him outside, but I am not hearing him in studio. It's got to be something with the settings or something, but I'm not hearing him. So let's go. In the meantime, let's not have that air going. Kid, please, I beg you, please. This is an urban station. No dead air, please. No. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not crazy. So I know I'm not crazy, buddy. So it's got to be something over there by you. So we standing by. Hang on. I'm not.
Steady. In the engine room, we go get on what's it.
Yeah, with everything plain, as I say.
Plain talk. Plain talk with Julmo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG.
In the engine room, we go jam it steady. In the engine room, we go get on what's it. In the meantime, why don't you join the line? Grab your
Plain talk. Plain talk with Julmo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG. Plain talk. Plain talk with Julmo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now on OMG.
Let's bring him now. Kongs, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sorry about the confusion there. The regular DJ is not in. How are you? You back?
Yes, I'm back.
Did you claim your piece of the land?
If I claim what?
Your piece of the land.
The land is mine. I don't have to claim it.
The motherland. You know, they say, once you're repatriated.
There's always the motherland has always been mine. From very early in my life, I accepted that I was an African man.
Okay, you accept. I think we all do.
It was not my first time on the continent. It was just that this visit was allowed me to do something that I hadn't done before. For example, you might have seen on Facebook where I did King Engwezi actually initiated me and told me, "Look, you're a Congo man now, you're an African man now." But it's the first time I've gone through that kind of ceremony. But I have been there numerous times.
All right, Kongso, unfortunately, hang on. Let's go to the top and we come right back with you, okay? We had some technical problem. Let's go to the top and come right back. Kid, let's bring the top of the hour and we're going to come back with Kongso and try to get the feedback sorted out as we're hearing that there's the feedback. All right, let's go to the top.
Boom, 106.9 is trending.
Turn up the music. Turn down the lights.
Blazing on the air at 106.9 FM.
What does this button do? Lord, have mercy.
On your phone or device at tunein.com. Or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069.
When you hear the rhythm and the iron and the man with the Congo drum.
In the engine room.
It's a vibes in the session when we jam into the steel bun.
In the engine.
Come on, join the line, grab your bottle and spoon. It's a party in the engine room. In the engine room we go jam it steady. In the engine room we go get on what's it. In the meantime, why don't you join the line, grab your bottle and spoon, and come let we party so sweet that I got this spice.
The number one morning show in the SVG.
Morning.
OMG in the morning.
Come on now.
All right, we're gonna get the calm down. Don't worry, we're gonna get the technical kinks sorted out. Just be patient with us, please. All right, the feedback still there, you guys? So you hearing the feedback?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. Let's go, please. Let's continue. Yeah. You were saying that it wasn't the first time you've been to the continent of Africa?
No, it was not. I've been to the continent at least three times before.
Okay, and what triggered this visit this time? Was it for a specific purpose?
Well, actually, I am in big number. I'm here feedback.
Oh, you getting the feedback?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get Kid to try and sort it out.
I'm involved with an organization, and we are doing some work in the Congo to help the fight against selling, bring modern agriculture to the continent, particularly rural Congo. So that's part of the reason why I went this time. And as I got there, the idea came that one of the things that can happen is to have a formal initiation where King will do his magic, quote unquote, and in bring me to the Congolese family to welcome me back to the continent of Africa.
Okay. You said are you still there or are you back?
I am sitting in my office in Kingston.
Oh, okay, you're back. All right. The feedback is still around?
Yes.
Oh, hang on, please. Yes. All right. We're gonna get all these things sorted out. Shady's not in, as I've said before, so my apologies. We've got the DJ is not the usual one who does the morning show, so he's not used to dealing with all of these minor issues, but we'll get them sorted out. Yes. In the meantime, the council, can you tell us more about your visit and what all you did?
Well, as I said. This was a visit. I work with an organization that is trying to connect continental Africa with the diaspora. Mm-hmm. And we planned this to go to the Republic of the Congo. In fact, I think it's necessary for us to say there are two Congos. There's the Republic of the Congo, Brazzaville, meaning that the capital is called Brazzaville, and there's the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kinshasa. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kinshasa is the capital. People may remember the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa, because I think back in 1971 or 1972, Muhammad Ali had fought George Foreman there, and that was memorialized as the rumble in the jungle between Foreman and Ali. Then the country was called Zaire, but the country has since been renamed Democratic Republic of the Congo. So there are two Congos. The Congo, and they're only separated by the Congo River. It's a huge river that separates. Back in the day, the colonial power decided, the French decided they're going to take Brazzaville, and the Belgians decided they're going to take what is now the Democratic Republic. Enormously rich piece of real estate, probably the richest piece of real estate in the world, but because it has been so sucked by imperial forces and a rather parasitic political elite, the Congo is probably one of the poorest. Well, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is said to be the poorest country in the world, although all of the estimates says that the resources, mineral and other resources in Congo run to about $50 trillion. But GDP is like about $500 US. In the Republic of Congo, where I spent most of the time, I also went to the Democratic Republic, but in the Republic of Congo, where I spent most of the time, it's a huge country. It's more than in terms of mass, it's about 200,000 square miles. It only has 5 million people. There's a tremendous amount of land, agricultural land. Much of it is not being farmed. Most of the people live in the cities. Makwa, where I went, Port Nor, and in Brazzaville. A lot of people still very, very poor. You know, you go to in rural Congo and you see mud houses, you see tin houses, you see people clearly fighting to make an existence and a living. But it's such a beautiful land. I mean, physically, you're driving, because I did a drive for about 9 hours from Brazzaville to Makwa, which is a city more in the north, going towards Cameroon. And it's an enormously beautiful country. The landscape is beautiful. One of the things that I found interesting about the Republic of Congo is that there's a tremendous amount of sand that we would use to build. Like we may go to the seashore and pull and take to build. There's Congo. It's like a lake of sand. So sand is everywhere. And I wonder sometimes how that's, because this is Central Africa, right? In the middle of Africa, you have all of this sand.
Yes.
I don't know if people know it, but in some countries, in Trinidad and I think the Guyana, you have these sandbanks where there's a huge deposit of sand that is not near to the shore, near to the seashore. But Congo has a lot of sand. The people are generally slim. In the days that the 10 days I spent in the Republic of Congo, I spent the day in Kinshasa. I didn't see a lot of overweight or obese people. They are slim, they are tall, very black. I was saddened by the fact that 99% of all of the women in the Congo either have weave or some kind of mat on their head, which was rather disappointing to me.
But why? Why would you be disappointed by that?
Why would African people want to not wear their hair naturally? I was very disappointed by it. I mean, black is beautiful. I don't see any need for that.
Did you tell them you were disappointed, like the way you told us in St. Vincent you're disappointed by some of the things that you see black ladies do?
Yeah. The woman that came into contact with, I told them that they are naturally beautiful women and they shouldn't be putting on these mat on their head. Like I said, they're very, very, very slim people, tall and slim. Another interesting innovation I saw in the Congo is that a lot of people use motorbikes as taxis. So you get around on a motorbike and you pay as we would. There are cars as well, but you get around on a motorbike, particularly in the rural areas. You use a motorbike as a taxi. There's a tremendous amount of cassava that is being used in the Congo. So, for example, you can get cassava for breakfast, cassava for lunch, and cassava for dinner. That's if you're in the rural. Certainly, if you're in a city and you are at a hotel, as we were when we were in Brazzaville, you can get any kind of meal that you would get in Paris or in London or in New York. But the local people use a lot of cassava. Cassava is the main agricultural project there. The other thing is that they eat the cassava leaves. Like the way in which people here would use, in America, they have collard greens, or in St. Vincent, we use what is it called? Oh, Lord. I can't remember the name now, but they use a lot, they eat the leaves. And it tasted good. And I was moved to Google it to see what kind of nutritional value do they have in cassava leaves. And to be pleasantly surprised, there's a lot of iron, there's a lot of niacin, there's a lot of vitamin D. So a product that we would simply reap the cassava and throw away the leaves. In Africa, they use the leaves, and there is nutritional value in the leaves. But cassava is a staple over there.
So my final question on this African trip that you went on did you do any work with regards to reparation or anything of the sort?
Well, reparations is an integral part of the interconnection between the continental Africans and diasporal Africans. Reparations is part of that. So we had some talk about reparations. You may know that I was one of the co-chairs for the Caribbean Reparations Commission, and I was also the former chair of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Reparations Committee, also being the chair of the St. Vincent Reparations Movement even before the committee was formed. So, and I think that's one of the reasons why I was selected, because the organizer for this group, which is actually based in Paris with offices in different African countries, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Congo, she had been following me for a long time. I had not known that. So when I was contacted a number of months ago to be part of this project, that's what she pointed to. She pointed to my long work in the United States as a human rights person, somebody who had participated in a reparations case back in 2002. And she also pointed to the fact that she knew what I was doing here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So, yes, reparations is an integral part of this work as well.
All right.
Another thing that struck me being as critically important, and it was a kind of shock. When I got to the Congo, there were a lot of people wearing track tops, or they had it wrapped around them, sweaters. You know, the women had it wrapped around their waist or over their shoulders. And I wondered, what the hell? Why these people in the center of Africa have these things? And then I was shocked in the evening. In the evening, it gets pretty cold in the Congo. And it was rather surprising to me because, like I said, this is Central Africa. And I had not known that the temperature could drop so rapidly. It's much, much, much colder than we would have even on the coolest days here. I saw some reports where they say it can get as low as 10 degrees Celsius. So that's cold. So that explained why the people were wearing that. Just to think that there's the Congo River, which separates the Republic of Congo from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, whereas in the Republic of Congo, people are rather slim and tall. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, people are much more, particularly women, are much more weighty. They are much more, they carry around a lot more weight than the women in the Republic of the Congo. And like I said, it's only the river that separates them. It's the same people, the same names, the same everything, the family across the river. So I asked, and some people said it may be a question of the diet. The more Western diet has gotten to Kinshasa, which is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as opposed to Congo Brazzaville. In Congo Brazzaville, I didn't see Kentucky, I didn't see McDonald's, I didn't see what's the thing that Gonzales has there? We have down the street. I didn't see that either. So Subway. A lot in the Congo is Subway. A lot in the Republic of the Congo is still more very indigenous, as opposed to across the river in Kinshasa and other cities in the Democratic Republic, where it is more westernized than in the Republic of the Congo. Rich country, people still very, very poor. It is evident that the political elite are reaping the benefits. I mean, when we were driving to Makwa, we saw lands that were owned. We went through the province of Inu, which is the province from which the province from which the President Denis Sassou Nguesso lives, and there are miles and miles of lands that are fenced off, and we were told that that's the land belonging to the president of the country. President Nguesso has been in power now for 37 years. They've been there for a very long time, and what can we say? It's clear that the elite, like the elite all over the world, tend to usurp all of the authority and all of the power and all of the resources, and the people are still quite poor.
Before I ask you about the local scene now and what's happening on the local land since you got back, were you given an African name? I know sometimes when you go
No,
travel
no,
places.
no. I wasn't given an African name because I have an African name. My name is Jomo
Yes.
Sanga. That's my African name. So there was no need to change my name. And the other thing that in Africa, a lot of Africans have Christian first name. So it seems as though is the more conscious of Africans or an African institution that may move to change the names. But in Africa, many people have African. In fact, they offer up. Most people logically offer up their Christian first name, and I would insist, no, I don't want your Christian first name. I want your African name, and that's how I was able to get. I mean, I had an interpreter because they speak French in Central Africa. In the Republic of Africa, they speak French. So I had an interpreter, wonderful young man. He's a geologist by training, and his name is Mr. Odende. But he wanted to give me a Christian name, which I can't recall because I just tossed it out of my head.
Okay. All right. So you've been back. I don't know how long you've been back. Do you have any take on anything that's been happening on the local scene?
Well, I try to pay attention. When I was over there, in going to the Republic of, I spent a day in Paris, and I left my connector in the hotel room. So when I got there, when my computer died for a few days, and for most of the days I did not have computer connection, so I didn't pay attention. What I had to do, I tried to read like the eyewitness reports and so on. And so I tried to follow as best as I could. But once I got back on Thursday to New York, I was able to pick it up again. And since I got back here on Saturday, I try to consume as much of the local information, local news. I heard you talking about earlier when I tuned in. I heard you talking about some delegation that the NDP had in New York. In fact, I went to my good friend, Health Food Store in New York, and he wanted to know if I was part of the NDP delegation. But I don't know. I think that you're making too much of who was on the delegation.
Why do you think that?
Because it's a non-storage. Well, at least in my mind, I don't see whether Fitz went or if whoever went. I don't think that's critical. They just probably thought.
It wasn't. I wasn't speaking specifically on that. I said that it seems to be a trend that Fitz Bramble is being sidelined, and according to some information that I've received, that there may be that something's happening inside there where Fitz Bramble and other members of the party is concerned.
No, I don't know. I have not picked that up. I mean, he's going to be their candidate in 2025, barring anything else. So I'm not so sure. I haven't heard anything about him being sidelined. But there are all kind of machinations in these kind of parties, particularly a party as democratic as the opposition. I mean, you probably wouldn't have that in the ULP because PM Gonzalez has a tighter rein on things. The parties run in much different fashion, and I've said for a long time that the opposition is a much more democratic party than the ULP. So you may have a lot of jockeying taking place in the NDP that you may not have. That may be a good thing and it may be a bad thing. I think because of Prime Minister Gonzalez's tight rein, he has been able to keep things in flow, as opposed to every now and again things flare up in the opposition and people make a big thing about it. I'm not so sure there's a lot that is to be made from the fact that Bramble didn't go or Cummins was listed to go and he didn't go. But there may have been scheduling issues and other reasons why. The other point you made about Lovon going, I don't see any reason why Lovon should not go. She's the public relations person. When Prime Minister Gonzalez used to travel a lot, he used to take Glenn Jackson. He used to take what's his name? I don't see him taking Cian Marshall anywhere now. He seems to be taking Candyman more than he's taking. But
From the standpoint of strategy, though, I mean, Gonsalves and the ULP is in power. The NDP is trying to get into power. From a strategic standpoint, I believe, I'm not going to ask you if you think or not, I believe strategically it would have been best to take one of the candidates or someone who is a senator or one of the other senators or the other senator or someone else who you plan to run as a candidate.
But how do you know that they don't plan to run Lavon?
Well, that's true. I don't know. Do you think, as far as where you see?
I don't know. I think she would make an excellent candidate.
I do as well. But do you think that as far as the way you see?
I don't know. I think she would. I think that the party would be silly not to try to have her emerge. She has been around for close to a decade now. She articulates well. She has a very youthful, forceful, informed presence, and they would do well to have her on their team.
So would it mean pulling out what's his name from the Southern Grenadines and replacing him with Lavon?
Well, it may mean that, but or it may mean other thing. Maybe they have other plans for her. Maybe they have more national plans for her. I don't know. St. Vincent is 18 miles by 12 miles. This notion that you have to be born in one of the villages in the constituency to be in the constituency does not hold much water for me. Remember, Daniel Cummins grew up in Sharps, but he runs in West Kingstown. Sinclair Leacock grew up in Montrose. He runs in Central Kingstown. Anim Eustace grew up in Edinburgh, and he ran in East Kingstown. Carl Duggan was from Calico, and he ran in East Kingstown. So there's not Mitchell one time was in the Grenadines, and he moved all the way up to North Central Windward. So the country is so small that I think that we need to project persons who have a stature and who may make a contribution to the country, because not much happens in the constituency level. Actually, that's because of the way in which some of the candidates run their constituency. I mean, I had a whole lot of plans for what we could do with South Leeward had I emerged as a candidate, as the representative. Because I think there's so much more that can be done from a constituency level.
Okay. You had earlier on a number of occasions said on this program on here very confidently, and I challenged you a couple of times on it. You said confidently that there will be general elections by the end of this year. Do you still feel this way?
What do you think?
And I still say no.
Okay.
Do you still feel this way?
Well, you're not articulating. I still say no with the same vehemence with which you said it a few months ago.
I am still very confident that there will
all of the indications is that the ULP is readying itself for elections. We see it all around. The promotion of the police officers. Remember, they promoted the police officers last time, the day before the election. The things that they're doing here, there, and everywhere. We saw. I don't know if you noticed, but I saw Luther make an announcement. Our CG in the US make an announcement that the work at Royal Mill has continued. I wrote a column some time ago. I wonder if these people are real investors, though, because how do you, for 2 years you don't do anything, and now elections coming up, you're readying to say you are starting work again. I don't know how that works. I think we need to investigate who these people are and how they seem to be working to a particular political agenda rather than to an economic agenda of building a hotel and making it profitable for them and so that they can provide employment for people. But we have to watch and see. I still believe, and I said before and I'll say again, until we get to the point where it is mathematically impossible for us to have an election in 2023, I maintain that there's going to be an election in 2023. There are a number of other things happening, Bing. Sandals is projecting to open in March of 24. There's World Cup cricket, and we're supposed to get some games. Gonzalez may calculate that maybe I should wait for those before. But if for example, if Sandals open in March, April, and he calls elections in June, it would not be much different than if he called elections in February or in December, telling people, look, this is what's coming. This is what we are bringing to you. Because next thing you have Sandals open in March, and they were telling us we're going to get 1,000 workers, and we find out we only get 450. So they may keep it as a carrot. This is what you are going to get if we are elected, rather than to have the projects on stream. But certainly, there's going to be some, at least among the ULP supporters, there's going to be some euphoria around the fact that a hotel is opening, which is kind of strange for me in a country of 100,000 people. And then there's going to be some excitement if we get some games, and it seems as though we are scheduled to get some cricket games. You know, Vincentians are lovers of the sport. So if we get that, but I don't see how the fact that a cricket game comes to St. Vincent put the ULP in a better place to win an election. In fact, I am convinced that the ULP will be hard pressed, very, very hard pressed. They're going for a 6th term. They brutalize the people as it relates to the COVID mandate, which I think is going to hurt them. I am going to ensure that people remember that. The unemployment rate is 40+%. Poverty is kicking up close to 40%. People are underemployed. Thousands and thousands of people are underemployed. How many people we have in the YES program working for $500-600 per month? That's not something that excites somebody about voting for a particular party. So there are all of these issues that I think the PM Gonzalez would calculate. I mean, he's a shrewd politician, and can be sure he's gonna do his polls, he's gonna do his thinking. But in the end, I think that he would make a decision as to whether to hold elections this year or next year. Part of it, I think, why he would do it this year again is because Gonzalez is a vainglorious man, and he wants records. He wants to do certain things. So Mia Motley called in 4 years and won. His Skerritt called in 3 years and won. So Gonzalez may want to just come below a full 3 years and see if he can win, because that's the kind of man he is. He's all wrapped up in himself.
I agree with you with some, but I don't agree with some. I still don't think that we'll have election the end of this year. But hold on. We gotta go at Mr. Weeks, because it's almost 8:30. But someone want to say a quick hello to you? You want to do that? You want to say? Okay, all right. Let's go. Thank you very much, Council. Tomorrow morning we will get you and we'll be more organized. Shady will be back, or we'll be more prepared. I want to thank you very much until we meet again. Okay?
Until we meet again, Bing. All the best.
Straight to Mr. Weeks. Let's do that right here, right to Mr. Weeks. And we got somebody in the studio who sabotaged me this morning and introduce him. Let's go straight to Mr. Weeks.
Time to connect with the most loved man on radio. Sir Lancelot is in the building.
Well, Sir Lancelot is in the building, not just him, but a fella just walked into the studio. Good morning.
Morning, buddy.
Wait, switch your camera while we're waiting, Mr. Weeks. Hold on. While we're with Mr. Weeks, what you doing in St. Vincent? Hold on, what are you doing in St. Vincent?
This is my native homeland, you know. I could come and go anytime I want.
What do you? Something's happening. No, like election really coming at the end of the year, as Jomo said.
No. I beg to differ with Jomo. I think Jomo miscalculating the PM. That is my opinion. I based on the experiences I had, I don't think the PM will call elections this year. No.
What? Rationalize that for me, please. While we're waiting, Mr. Weeks. Mr. Weeks, we're with you. We're on time with you this morning. We played your job. We're with you.
I don't know what kind of. I don't know if the PM has done a recent poll and what the results are. But if you listen to the talk on the road, on the street and different crowds and so on, you know, you get in mixed opinions, and it almost seems like neck and neck sort of situation. Some people can tilt this way, some people tilting the other way. But you know, based on the tilt on either side, it's almost neck and neck, you could basically say. Mm-hmm. So if anybody knows, if people really look at how the PM, he's a very well calculated fella.
Mm-hmm. I think we've got Mr. Weeks.
Oh, good morning, Lansford. He's not going to. I don't think he will call elections unless he knows that the balance will tip in his favor. So he has to see certain things accomplished. Because right now, if you run a neck and neck, you ain't even know for sure how it going to go. But he wants to have it concrete.
I think he just dropped out. Mr. Weeks, you just dropped out. I don't know if you can call us back, please. He's calling back. Oh no, it wasn't him. We're standing by to have Mr. Weeks call back. In the meantime, while we await Mr. Weeks, continue.
No, Big, but that's how I look at it. There's gonna be a bad judgment as far as I'm concerned, with political experience like what the PM has, for him to call elections this early unless he know for a fact that he can pull it off.
All right, let's hold on a bit with Mr. Weeks. Good morning, Mr. Weeks. Yes, good morning, sir. You fell out just now. Yes, how are you this morning? You calling from a cell phone?
Yes, I'm calling from a cell phone.
Oh, you're not coming in clear at all. You're coming in very choppy. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, continue. Let's try and see if we can make it happen still, please.
So I guess it's my location.
Oh, yes, you're much better now. You can hear.
Okay. I think it's about Spencer Voice. Morning, Spencer.
Spencer, you hearing him? He said good morning.
No, morning, buddy.
And good morning. And looking forward. Yes. Being as I said, I am in a location where I can't be long today, but I have an obligation. So never mind, when I speak the truth, you have me up. And you can joke for me. But that's all right. That's good. It's good, friend. You hearing me still?
We're hearing you quite clearly, yes. Just
okay.
Give you a chance.
So I want to, this morning, briefly, very brief, talk about the limits on civil servants, because from time to time we'll hear Dr. Richards make reference to what civil servants can do. I don't remember exact words, but so in that for the limits on the civil servants, the limits on the civil servants are generally provided by the law. Civil servants are guided by a set of laws, many laws and regulations. And once you operate within them, you should be okay. One of the things that Pastor Richard make reference to is the policy and how well civil servants can operate within or outside of policies. It is not the civil servant's responsibility to set policy. Generally, the politicians, particularly cabinet, are the ones that set broad policies. And it is the role of that cabinet member who sits in a particular ministry to communicate those policies to the head of the ministry or department. What we don't take into consideration many times is that the civil servants are the ones who very often articulate the policies. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. What I mean, the politician will say we want to do X, and interpret that and put in place the plans to get it done. What that is very current is what it appears to me to be an attempt to upgrade the fleet of vehicles operating as taxi and tow buses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, as articulated by whomever, I don't know if it's by the Ministry of Transport or the Ministry of Tourism, who put the policy together, may achieve the objective of upgrading the fleet of taxi and buses, tow buses, etc. I believe that there's a broader context in which that policy should have been interpreted and articulated. It is simply that we want to have the taxi at the tourists at the airport and, well, the port of entries generally to be new and very attractive? Or is it that we want a good transportation sector, a good transport sector that is beneficial and comfortable to all who reside in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including the tourists who are here temporarily, no matter how short? I believe that should be the broader policy, and I know that the government has been making some effort to do that by putting in place fiscal incentives for buses on the road. But again, those incentives are geared towards, as they articulated, geared towards utilizing larger buses. Again, I don't know how effective that can be given our terrain or where our villages are so situated and so. I don't see these large buses being efficient and doing well in our situation. Yes, if you're going from Kingston to Georgetown directly, you're driving on the main highway, and yes, you can be efficient, you can be effective in that way. But when you have to go into the villages where the roads are narrow, the slope of the road is steep in many instances. There's some very sharp corners, and the road surface itself is not developed to take these heavy vehicles, as for example, the main highways. So my thing should have been an overall look at the transportation sector and look at all that is in place already and integrate this attempt, this incentive. I'm not criticizing the incentive to the taxi drivers, but I believe it should have been more integrated in the overall transport sector. The point, though, is that while the minister or the prime minister or whomever would have given an indication that we want to go in this direction, the civil servant, whether it's a permanent secretary or there's a particular officer who's in charge of that, I believe has a responsibility to look broader in doing the analysis and ensuring that they provide the information to the minister, that this also can be taken into consideration.
Lansford, I got to agree with you on a lot of the things you're saying. I'm not too familiar with the whole concept of this transportation thing, right? Bing was just asking me if I know anything about it. I hear a little grumbling since I've been here, but I didn't really dive into it because I had so much other things doing and so on. But what you're saying makes full sense, right? If you're going to integrate, if you're going to look at some kind of transportation system, is to look at it properly from all aspects and then make a proper decision. You know, I like what you're saying. And I think it should not just be with these buses. I think it should be just about everything, especially when government is involved. Right? They need to look at different things and you know, you hear people talking about, oh well, it's the permanent secretary, or it's the head of the staff in the office that made the decision. Well, come on, what is it? I'll give you one in particular. I ain't ready to deal with it fully yet because I'd mentioned it briefly to Bing, I think, while I was in Toronto. The protocols for an MRI. Lansford, you must look at those protocols. Read the number 1 protocol and tell me what you understand that protocol to mean.
Well, Mr. Weeks was once permanent secretary.
There you go. That's why I'm throwing it out to him. So he should know the way it's worded. Lansford is a very well read fella. So he should. I mean, I got the explanation already. from a top-ranking hospital official. You understand? I'm just waiting to see if it was changed.
Mr. Weeks, your
'Cause
response?
I know what it's saying.
Let's say Mr. Weeks response.
I have not seen the MRI is a fairly new service thing, and I have not seen. I was a bit surprised when Prime Minister made the announcement in terms of the number of scans and so that were done. I didn't realize that we had a full scale, more or less a full scale implementation of that. The honest truth is that I have not seen the policy with respect to the service, the MRI service.
So you know what? I'll WhatsApp it to you, right? And then I'll give you a ding because I don't want to get into too much details now. I'll put you on the spot with whatever, right? Let me deal with this in due time. You know me. I knew about this weeks ago from the time it came out, and I was asking questions. I'll send it to you, and let me. You and I will talk privately. Let me see what your interpretation is, because I know what it's saying. Because I was told what it's saying.
Yeah. Mr. Weeks, you're saying?
Going back to the transport sector. Yes. It may well be that those who formulated and articulated the policy are not so aware of what is happening in the transport sector, the local transport sector, because they may not be using it regularly, or some persons may not be using it at all, the public transportation system. But we know the public transportation can do with a lot of improvement. And if you're going to promote tourism, the tourists who come to St. Vincent, they may use a taxi from the airport to the hotel or the place where they're staying. But after that, many of them choose to use the public transportation. And I don't think it would be to our credit to have a Benz pick you up from the airport, drop you to your hotel, and then when you walk to the entrance of your hotel to flag on a bus to get into Kingston, it's
Mr. Weeks, you just broke up there. You went out completely. We didn't hear anything you said. But I wanna agree with something. I wanna pick out something you said. The size, the narrowness of our roads, and the size of the big buses. Does that set us up for accidents? And if we're going to bring in all these buses, these huge buses on our roads, not just accidents, but maintenance of the roads and all of that.
That's quite possible thing if we were to have too many of these big buses operating in the villages and so around St. Vincent, and that's what I'm talking about. And I, as I said, it may well be that those who are articulating the policy are not fully aware of the situation on the ground, and that's why the policy is articulated that way. But people who are in these positions ought to have the necessary information in putting the policy together. As I said, I didn't intend to be long this morning because I'm in a location where it's not the best for communication. So hopefully we can. It's really an important issue we need to talk about in terms of how policies are formulated, how they are articulated, and implemented. So we can come back to it at some point. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weeks. Maybe we can continue this on Thursday morning.
Yes.
All right. That was Mr. Weeks. Interesting discussion, but hold on. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue with some of that discussion and some other issues I want to raise, and something which you say about the scale tipping and this and that and all that if elections were to be called, as Jomo is predicting, sooner than 2025, the end of 2025. All right, so let's take a quick break and come right back. This is OMG in the morning. Let's go to commercials and come right back. Let's do this.
106.999.
St. Hill Insurance is celebrating 40 years of service to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 40 years of building trust and relationships. 40 years of fulfilling your general insurance needs. 40 years of unmatched customer.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party.
Always wanted a motorcycle, but they've been too expensive. I pass in on my way to work, and then boom, I see courts of motorcycles outside. I'm excited. I get up one day, I go down, I spoke to this guy. I think his name was Sheena, this short, chubby little guy, you know. I purchased 2 bikes so far. It was the 150 SL and the 250 Dragon. This blue, beautiful AKT TT Dragon, this is my baby. I call her Becky. She gives me the best ride ever. My name is Storyboy Nick, and I live to ride my AKT.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Keep calm. We're online now. Thousands of local content for your viewing pleasure. Live. Boom. IKTV. Tune in. Get interactive. Get involved with WhatsApp or Instagram. Interact Live. Party from home. Subscribe, follow, send us your voice notes. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, or call us live in studio. Be where the world is going. Stay home and connect online. Boom 1069, IKTV. Join the evolution. It's all about you. Connect now.
Discover new Guinness Smooth. Perfectly balanced for a smooth, refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth.
Your vision is our mission at Kurtz Optical. Shop today for up to 25% off. And with Ready Finance, pay nothing for 30 days. Book your free eye examination appointment online at www.kurtzoptical.com. Your vision is our mission. Up to 25% off your completed eyewear. Only at Kurtz Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. See in-store for details.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosyn
YMC. So baby, tell me what you want, see. Take you to parties and get naughty. So wind up on me, feeling happy. Start get freaky, Lord. So give me that feeling and put in some meaning. I know there's a reason for every time we be sessing. So why you be stressing? I teach you a lesson. Floating we be drinking. Village drum and black bottle. No festival. Could a nice like carnival. Much thing in Mardi Gras. Monday, Tuesday really bad. So when I wanna wine on freaky girls.
Winston, buddy, I saw you last night, buddy.
It's causing bacchanal. This thing and now. No festival. Could a nice like carnival. Watch thing in my
Winston, buddy.
Tuesday really bad.
The Haitian voodoo.
Girls, I make a link up in a pretty band. Costumes causing bacchanal.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord! From operative to Haitian voodoo. Oh Lord, Spencer boy.
That was you talking about the young hall meeting in New York?
Yeah. How you? First of all, how you end up? You just walk in. How you end up in St. Vincent? What you doing in St. Vincent? You were just in St. Vincent, and you just walk in just like that.
No, some people can keep the economy afloat. I mean,
so you came to keep the economy afloat?
Yeah, I gotta come and spend some money.
Oh, so that's what you?
Yeah, boy.
Let's start by spending some on me now.
We can always talk, you know. You know, man, I tell you already, you know, I can buy shares in the business.
So I haven't been around last week. And I am seeing this, my partner, Rodney Small, I just call him Vincy Drake. Are you ready? Right?
I know.
Right? And this list, I don't know everybody know about this list of the people on the list, the committee that are on this list. I just shared it with you. Let me take this quick call and let's talk about this list. Let's share the list because a lot of people don't know the list. Oh, sorry, the call dropped off. Sorry. The people who are on that committee, first of all, do you know what NCC is? You live in Canada, but you know what's going on in St. Vincent more than me.
Well, I pay attention to things that I think are important to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
If I think it's insignificant, I don't pay it no mind.
Okay. So what is NCC?
I'm not sure.
National Commission of Crime.
All right, good.
Right.
I heard.
Right. Okay, good. Right. And so Rodney Small is the director.
Right. But let me ask.
First, I heard
what is this commission supposed to do? That is the main question. It's called National Commission on Crime.
Right.
What is this group supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
What is this commission supposed to do when it comes to crime? That's all I want. What is the function of this commission? Right? Did they put out a set of guidelines or a set of mandates or how they're going to approach the issue on crime? What exactly? What's the mission statement for this group? Yes, I see a list. Almost everywhere else you go in St. Vincent, you go to some branch of the government, you see a mission statement and you see a vision statement.
But I just sent you the list. I know. I just gave you the list there.
But if you're going to put out a list, or if you could form
the list of names of the commissioners, I would call them commissioners.
Bing.
Commissioners.
Bing.
Commissioners.
Based on when you set up a commission, it's supposed to have an objective. What's the objective? What's the main objective of this commission with this group?
I agree with you.
Especially knowing if it's crime,
right?
They're going to be dealing with. What's the mission? What's the mission of this group?
I agree with you.
Did they put out one? Did they create one? Did they just sit there and put a group of people together and call it that without thinking of everything else that is supposed to give them some kind of credibility even before they start? Because you must have some kind of vision for this group, some statement, something to aim at, a goal for them to accomplish.
Well, maybe the commissioners, and I'm calling them the commissioners, the members of the group,
right?
The committee members,
right?
I would call them the commissioners,
right? No,
fair enough. Maybe by the type of commissioners they are, we may get an idea of what. So I just sent you the list. Can you read? You have all your reading glasses there? Read
I
the
don't
names.
need my glasses to read.
Read the names of the members. A lot of people don't know this.
I only know one. I only know one. To be honest with you, I don't know the rest.
Read the names that is on the list. Read the names of the commissioners.
So
who are on the list.
Right. So you have Dr. Sharina Slater, the professions. Makeda Green, agriculture. Zena Lois, sports. Javed Rouse, culture. John Kyle, health. Census Hines, information technology. Zulika Lois, tourism and hospitality. Nafisha Richardson, climate change. John Campbell, housing. Dylan Oliver, grenadines. Miss Crystal Oliver, creative industries. That's Crystal by VFM.
Yes.
Okay, so I know her.
Yeah, you know that one, right?
Storm Gonsalves, business and entrepreneurship. Sophia Jackson.
You know Storm. You know Storm.
I mean, everybody knows
You know Storm, right?
I mean,
yeah.
Storm is
my friend.
Right?
Storm, yes.
Business. I think
Storm is on the list as what? Because Crystal is on the list as creative
industries.
And Storm
is business and entrepreneurship.
Business and entrepreneurship.
Sophia Jackson, labor.
Right.
Shanold Monroe, media. Kewana Edwards, church. Tamira Brown, regional integration and foreign policy.
I know Tamira.
Naila De Freitas, diaspora. Cavill Hazelwood, education. That's it.
These are the commissioners.
Yes.
Who's on the list?
I only know two people on the list.
Who two you know?
Storm and Crystal.
Storm and Crystal.
That's it.
Yeah, see the phone line's been going long. You can call back now. We're going to take your calls now. Let's take this one quickly before we go to the top. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Good day, Brother Big. I just want to give you a quick information. And greetings, Brother Spencer. You are one of the individuals that are different than the 110,000 people. You speak your mind. God bless you. Just to say this, St. Lucia, looking at the document, I followed it up, provide relief for minibus operators through a payment of 1.1 million in fuel rebate. This rebate, you work it out with the van drivers at St. Lucia, and they're getting hit after the coronavirus. And so they're actually getting that rebate today. You walk out the amount, how much you the percentage, and they get back the money. Because remember, the minivans literally move the country. And so for the last 3 weeks, my wife is getting some very, very frightening signals that a lot of the vans are literally, especially in Calico, are literally selling out. And you have to understand the gravity of what is happening to the van drivers. The people are literally broke. They have dropped all, giving them stimulus. Dominica gives stimulus. Grenada gives stimulus. And Willa gives stimulus.
Hold on. What do we need to give vans stimulus for, really?
The reality is that you didn't want to do what you did, and they didn't want to carry up that draconian rate. $2 shot drop. You want to go from Andersville. And so what you do is that you say, we give you an increase. Do you know that most people can't buy? I'll tell you for me.
Yeah, but I need stimulus too for my business. Then I should ask for stimulus as well.
Well, could I tell you? I'm going to send you the document. Stimulus for farmers, stimulus for businesses like yours, because according to well, the thing is how you get it when the economy, how you get it when the budget is short by 500 million. You all think I talk in politics? Do you understand the gravity of how the consolidated fund is right? Do you know that in order to get just $500 for a few $100,000 to pay some $500, you have to go and ask to get the money, to pay salaries? I mean, we are talking here. The situation is very great for the van drivers now. Right. Very, very great. And I want you to say, I hope that you're going to bring on somebody responsible for what is really happening to the van drivers. Right. Tell us because of being Mr. Weeks and then get like we did him.
Thank you, Hamo. Thank you. Listen, we got to go to the top when we come back. There's so many things I got to talk about this morning. All right, I want to talk about a story where there's a summit which will be held in Canada. I'll talk about that when we come back on the other side. All right. So here we go. We got a Canadian in here. He gonna know more about that too. All right. Because I've been defended. Don't bring me. No.
You just walk in. Because I'll tell you what.
You know something.
You know something.
Well, let me see. Well, let me see. All right, let me go to the top and come back. We continue. We talk about the summit in Canada with Caribbean leaders. Let me go.
Boom 1069 is trending.
Turn up the music. Turn down the light.
Blazing on the air at 1069 FM.
I like you.
What does this button do? Lord, have
On your phone or device at tunein.com or on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Boom SVG 1069.
Young General Records.
Yo, sharp done. Girl up on the crib and me a done. Thank you so making little money, lad. Them won't fall off, no, sir. That don't know go see one. Man never get this easy, so me going hard. One heap of time, me bust some brain because the puzzle hard. You think a little bit of struggle, lad. When me out on the road, you don't know I'm going. Light up me, that's how me burn it. For me jeans, I need a permit. Father, me need a little mercy. And all of me things that me hurt me. All my days me never late, me a feel early. Me a beg you to keep me on my journey, and I make me put me trust in a people who don't deserve it. Girl, a feelings, you know worth it. One time them never show me no love. Now we are making rain in the club. Just again the blessing from the man up above. We are fly funny plane, don't have to go and watch it up. So we making the land turn it. One box be a leaf, me dog them no baller. Been through every night, now myself me brother. Me still I go harder, though my circle get smaller. Me make it in a life. Light up if that's how me burn it. For me jeans I need a permit. Father me need a little mercy. And all of me things that me hurt me. All my days me never late, me a feel early. Me a beg you to keep me on my journey, and I make me put me trust in a people who don't deserve it. Get a feelings, you know worth it.
The number one morning show in the SVG. OMG in the morning. Come on now.
Come on now. So, you know, boy, I don't know, boy.
Start no man.
We're not in a real world.
Keep it composure. Keep it composure, man.
We're not in a. Let me go. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has announced that the Caribbean community CARICOM leaders will be welcome to Ottawa for the first Canada CARICOM summit on Canadian territory. First time in history this is going to happen, right? He will co-chair the summit, which will take place from October 17th, that will be next week, to the 19th, 2023, with Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt, the current chair of CARICOM, the Trudeau chair and Skerritt deputy chair, right, of the summit. According to the release, the summit will highlight Canada's long-standing relations with the Caribbean and provide a chance for leaders to continue to improve cooperation and plan for better future for people in both areas as CARICOM celebrates its 50th anniversary this year. The party continues whole year the party continues, right? The Prime Minister and CARICOM leaders will push common priorities such as developing incentives and sustainable economies, growing trade and investment, and fostering international collaboration under the summit theme of strategic partnership for a resilient future. The leaders will also work to combat climate change and its consequences in the Caribbean, notably by investigating methods to enhance access to financing for Caribbean small island development states. Now, I know what I want to talk about.
I don't know what you are.
I know you don't tell me what I want to talk about.
I don't know what you are with this.
No. You do not know. You don't know why I going with this. I know what I want to talk about with the summit here. But I want to hear you, because you started to tell me when we went to commercials.
Right.
You started to tell me about the summit. So let me hear the summit, and I go talk about why I want to talk about the summit. You go.
Based on what you just read.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Bing. Long-standing relations between Canada and the Caribbean. When Canada come, how much people we have in the Caribbean? You impose visa restrictions on the people of the Caribbean. Right? Not most, if not all. With the exception of Barbados and then got a little bit more privilege. Now, all of a sudden, some of these politicians, I want to know if they think everybody's stupid.
Chop it. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Chop it.
All this is, as far as I'm concerned, that's why I don't pay it no mind. This is just a ploy. Trudeau know where he stands right now in the poll in Canada. They're going to get some licks. You hear them and the NDP put together. Now that's NDP, the NDP in Canada.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like joke.
I know
Trust
what you
me.
mean. I know what you mean.
The Conservatives going to kill them.
Right.
Based on the policies and what that guy. Now you have a country that used to be ranked between number 1 and number 2 for years. Best countries to live in the world. Now you're either down, I think, 11th or 15th, all because of his policies. They always say, little fools must not play with their stools, they get caught. That's a young fool. That guy. Who is advising this guy? I wonder if they run wrong the political schools and then better go in.
So you're saying that he shouldn't be having no summit?
It ain't that he shouldn't be having the summit.
The summit ain't making no sense.
It ain't make no sense. Now, I will tell you what making sense for he. You see, a lot of the black people, just like a lot of the black people in the US, who now slide in to the Republican side, a lot of the black people in Canada, this is no word of a lie. Ask anybody who live in Toronto that want to phone in, and you look at the majority of the bus stops and tell me how much black people you see now in Toronto. Cheryl and I just ask, my wife and I just ask every day, why are the black people gone? Serious thing. This is a serious problem.
You think because of visa restrictions?
That is one. And they come down hard on black people to send them out of Canada if they don't have the papers.
Okay.
Yeah, you ain't stand a chance. Almost. On the other hand, you got Asians coming in the place like it going out of style. Then you have the Scandinavian countries, people coming in. And they get so much more privilege. I ain't saying that some black people, just like every other race, they have their issues. You understand?
Yeah, but this is a summit for CARICOM.
Yeah, because he wants
country.
to get for the black people who are now turning away from him. He's trying to see if he could win them back. To see if he, because you see, so Ontario, especially Toronto. All right, they're the ones that usually make the Liberals win big time. They got the most seats is in Ontario. You understand? The point is, it's got a lot of, the black population is pretty good, but black people synonymously always voted for Liberals. But because of the current situation now, it all you think is here alone food expensive. Or it should come Canada. Let me tell you something. And black people in most cases feel in the pinch.
But let me tell you my take. What came out of that story for me. That's what you saw. You live in Canada. Right? So you will have a better insight of Trudeau and Trudeau's political plans and his political future and his political policies.
He ain't got none after this. That, right? He done.
That's what you saw.
I'm telling you, he's done.
Right. So I don't know if you will say the same thing about he ain't got none, he done after what I gain out of this.
Okay.
I have forever been on this radio station shielding, cussing, tell people all this chop it, all their stick breaking, all their ears because I keep saying it. When they call and say Prime Minister Gonsalves cannot go to Canada.
I know that way you go with that.
And I always say, how could you say the Prime Minister can't go to Canada? This is a Prime Minister. The man he's a diplomat. He's a head of government. He is the prime minister of a sovereign country. When they have the United Nations, America's worst enemy, just go to the go to America. So how could all this say Prime Minister Gonsalves can't go Canada?
Okay.
Well, now there's a CARICOM summit. I cannot see that my friend Prime Minister Gonsalves will make me look stupid by saying he can't go, and he ain't go. Because if he ain't go, now the egg will be on my face.
Right.
Because I've been saying all along, the man just saying had no reason. There's nothing, maybe there was nothing for him to go to Canada for all the time. But if he ain't go now, egg could be on my face.
Yeah, my guy on your face.
I don't want to think so.
No, the PM don't like the guy be wrong enough.
I do not think so.
No.
I can't. Listen to me. We're talking about CARICOM summit. Prime Minister Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves is always. He is the ancient warrior for CARICOM. He is the go-to man
I've been
for
hearing that
advice.
talk. I've been hearing that talk for a long time.
From him,
Right.
he says that I am the go-to man for advice. When it comes to CARICOM, leaders come to me because I am the ancient warrior. I am the longest service prime minister consecutively in CARICOM. So how the hell you're going to have a CARICOM summit and ancient warrior CARICOM man ain't sure.
So now hold on.
I say I go feel raised.
Hold on. So you got a good relationship with the PM.
I think you agree.
So did you ever find out from the PM with all this talk that been going around for years why he doesn't go to Canada?
Because I always thought it's stupidness.
Okay, but did you ever ask the question to him directly?
Because I always think it's stupidness.
No, that's not that is an indirect answer.
Spencer.
Listen, big.
Yes.
It's either yes or no. Did you ever ask him?
I think I'm here.
And what was his answer? What was his response?
He brushed it off. Like, but that's stupidness. That's stupidness. But I'm saying there is a reason we having a CARICOM summit
for him to go
in Canada, where a lot of intentions have been denied, visa restrictions and all of that.
Now is the time you should bring it up.
Now is the time. So I cannot see Prime Minister Gonsalves say no, that he ain't going to Canada for this summit. If there is any other moment for our Prime Minister to go to Canada, is now. Because I cuss everything. I say, oh, this stupid. Stick breaking all the years. How are you going to say a Prime Minister can't go Canada? The man is a Prime Minister. You have a diplomatic. Who could stop him?
Yeah, that's true.
Who could stop him?
That's true.
Well, I will. If Prime Minister Gonsalves don't go to Canada, I will come in here and
you'll beat him up.
I will beat up myself. I would say how I chop it. I will never defend nobody in my life.
Again.
Because I'll be disappointed. Because what reason?
PM, if you're listening, I know you're listening.
What?
Call
reason?
in and make your part straight. Call in, buddy.
What reason will our Prime Minister have to not go to the CARICOM summit? He goes to every single summit of the CARICOM.
And I agree with you.
No matter if it falls on Carnival Day, he had the summit. He says he is the go-to man. He's the longest serving CARICOM Prime Minister consecutively. He is the man that all of them just come to for advice. So you're going to have a summit and you ain't going to go? Nah. You come, no. You're going back to your ULB Moorings, eh? You're going back to your ULB Moorings.
No. He might be on the flight to me going back up.
I hope so. Because it will make me look real bad.
Because I couldn't get a seat in business class, but so maybe the PM take my seat.
I go feel real stupid. I go feel real stupid if the Prime Minister ain't go. I will feel real stupid. Because I know.
I heard you lots of times defending that situation.
I said,
I know, big.
Oh, the talking stupidness. You talking about Prime Minister can't go. I say he probably. He don't have a reason to go. But now there's a reason to go.
But getting back to the summit, big.
Yes.
That's the only reason why. What? Tell me, over the last 20 years.
Kid, come back in the studio for me, please.
The last 20 years, how much, right, did the Caribbean benefit from Canada? Really and truly, Canada.
Well, now is why the summit will tell us all of this. Now is why our Prime Minister.
Look at their contribution. Look at their contribution with the volcano.
Caller, good morning. Sorry about that. Good morning, caller.
Good morning,
Good-
boy.
good morning.
Well, you're going to. I bet you the Prime Minister can go candidate for this meeting. I bet you.
You're talking stupidness.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I bet you. What's her name is going to lead the delegation? His most loyal woman in the party is going to lead the delegation. What's your name? Foreign Affairs Minister.
KMP? Peters?
Yes, man.
We're talking about Carrie comes. These are heads of government. She's not the head of St. Vincent. She's not the Prime Minister of St. Vincent.
I told you, but look. Is not going to Canada you're talking about?
Yes.
Well, right. I'm saying he ain't going. He can't go.
And I'm saying he going. I'm saying he going. I'm sticking my neck out. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
You owe me something.
Dave, if Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves don't go, I give you $100. And I
Thank you.
sell it in front of Spencer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. $100. Anybody who come and tell me, come like that, all who vote for Labour. Play that thing for me, please. All who vote for Labour.
Boy, I should not come in here today when he coming on here.
All who vote for Labour. If Prime Minister Gonsalves do not go to the summit, then it makes me question this now. It makes me wonder what is going on. I mean, come on, Spencer.
And that is a very,
Serious.
that's
Serious,
an excellent.
Serious.
I mean,
It makes me wonder. I will have to wonder about this if he doesn't go to the summit. Because all this time I'm defending this. I cussing people about this. I telling them what stupidness all is saying. Call them on you live.
Morning, Spencer. You hit the nail on the head. Why the reason for the summit? They just like the Democrats just fool black people. Trudeau walk and fool black people in America. But
I think our leader will put forward a good case.
Man, I want he go up to become member.
Our leader,
so
the agent,
they represent us well, and the agent warrior go and call them out.
He will put forward a good case.
What they about? But so we have a Prime Minister. We want you to go up there and represent us.
No, not that we want. He's going. Don't talk the shit about we want. He's going.
All you say the Prime Minister can't go Canada. All you full of stupid names.
Yeah, he can.
Go sure. Bingo come and cuss all out.
Yeah. We show them. Thank you, man. We put them in. We're going. We put them into place. We put them in the place. Let's drop it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Prime Minister's gonna go to the summit. CARICOM summit. With Trudeau?
Especially the first one.
The first one?
And the PM Minister?
No. Never. Hold on. Never. And all of you who've been calling and saying Prime Minister Cargo, Ralph Cargo, and I used to say, what's stupid is all I think. Who could stop the Prime Minister? You're talking about a Prime Minister of a sovereign nation. You're saying that he can't go. I said maybe he doesn't have a need to go. But now he has a need to.
But then what would be interesting, I can follow this closely now, because what would be interesting for me is what they're going to talk about, the issues at the summit.
Yes. And we want to hear what he's going to present on behalf of St. Vincent.
I would love to know what, because I've been there for over 40 years.
Yes. What is our country's position going to be on this summit? What direction? Who are we going to line up?
Good question.
Where are we going to go?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Because economy, is it going to be economy? Is it going to be just visas? Is it going to be agricultural help? Can the Canadians
climate change. That's among one of them. To access finance.
Right.
You ready? To access finance for climate change.
There's a lot of free money being given away.
We need it. We need it.
Which is true.
But we need it.
Which is true.
Don't you think we need it?
Yes.
Small island developing states.
Which is true.
We need it.
We
need it. You think our Prime Minister is
an opportunity?
In an election.
There's an opportunity like that.
Coming up. With an election coming up. He going. Comrade Ralph going, Big Red going. He going. He's not going to miss that opportunity.
The man done give Ukraine all the money that he has.
You ready for me there, the kid? He going.
Nobody else ain't getting on. You getting crossed.
No. He going. Prime Minister going. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves going. Call it morning. We're looking for the thing to line up for the man who can.
Spencer is a worthless man.
Oh, Jesus Lord. Anyway, kid couldn't find it. So let me go.
Spencer is a worthless man.
Spencer the man says he's a worthless man. The man says he's a worthless man.
You know there. I sent him a message the other day. I sent him an article. And he tell me he could try calling because I see phone. So I said, No, you can't answer your phone because you're selling Duke and roast chicken.
But if I don't host the money, if I'm going to take all the money and get it before I rally.
Good morning, Bing.
You got some lawsuit spending to this man here.
He is one of them who you cuss
This
me
man
out.
love to slander him.
He is one of them who cuss me out and say, Rob, Canada. I will prove to him now that our Prime Minister will be going to the summit. Our Prime Minister.
Morning. I will sit back and happily smile seeing Ralph get on a plane to Canada. Yeah?
It's a summit.
I will, but I'm saying it, Pastor. I will so I can be happy to see my Prime Minister going to Canada for the first ever CARICOM summit.
Especially the first one.
Now, hold on, let me introduce it properly, man. Hold on, let me introduce it.
You find it?
I want to say thanks to those who voted for Labour, but now a ball.
Go on, talk it out now.
So being, I should not be happy seeing my Prime Minister going to Canada for the first ever CARICOM summit in Canada. Come on, Bing.
No, I would definitely love to see the PM go for a lot of reasons. Because you know why?
Bing?
I would love to see.
Young Kenzo.
No, wait. You know, I mean, we're lacking a lot of vital things here. Simple things that would improve the economy, especially for young people. The Canadians are pretty good at it. The thing is, it would be interesting to see how much help they're willing to give if it's going to be each individual country based on GDP.
We know one thing, according to Kent and them, sir, we good for is beg. The man is good to beg and to bring home good news.
Is it going to be something like this?
Here's the thing.
Thank you. Because now it comes in a lump sum. And then, you know, I don't even know who does get to disperse the money when they do it like that. And what projects it go to, because you are supposed to show accountability. Once you get these donations, you're supposed to show accountability.
Kenson, I know he saying all that to say, but I say my Prime Minister is going to the summit.
Well,
because all like you saw this come on the radio.
I hear plenty times.
And I just tell him he's stupid. The man is ahead. The man is a Prime Minister. You have a diplomatic passport. You can't. So we can prove to him now. We'll prove to him now.
Yeah.
We prove
Why
to him now.
if he can go, because I show when the PM could talk.
Yeah.
And he always say he and Trudeau are good buddies.
Yes. My brother Trudeau.
Yes.
My brother Trudeau.
St. Vincent should get. Hold on, Kenson. Wait, Kenson, wait. St. Vincent should get a special package by themselves.
Yes.
On top of the group thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He's controlled by your first name. Go ahead, Kenson. Go ahead.
Here's the thing to what Spencer just said there. And this is a problem that I have. That we have accepted this thing here, and it's really, really bothering me. And I'm wondering if we will ever get back to a place of independence. Because, and this is not really what I wanted to talk about this morning, but anyway, I'm glad it came up. Because I didn't have a rant last night because I allowed people to look at the, listen to Dr. Friday and supporting their presentations last night, which was really excellent.
All 500 people, all 500 of us.
Come on, man, 500 and more, you know? So it was really excellent. So I allowed people to do that. But I'm glad that you raised this morning, that this aspect of thing that Spencer just raised there about, getting money to deal with stuff here and, unemployment and all of that. Now listen, for 20 plus years, this is like a whole generation. We have had a government, we have had a party, let me not say a government, we have had a party who has taken the reins of government over and over and over and over and over. And up to now, if we're going to wait until after 20 years to see them have any meaningful economic impact in St. Vincent, we have to be crazy. No matter how much they beg, no matter how much they get loans, no matter what, we are not going to get out of this under this regime here. Yeah? Because they don't know, they refuse to implement things that are going to really push St. Vincent forward economically on our own, which we can do, and which we could have done.
Kenson, listen to me. You know what would be very interesting to me? And this is not knocking one or the other. Everybody come on and they say they want a little piece. You know me already. I lick up the ELP like you're going out of style. I tell the PM soft the last side. I'll lick all up and I'll do stupidness. Now, what would be very interesting to me is that if the NDP wins the next election, I would be one of the guys sitting back and waiting to see how the NDP is going to handle the economy, jobs, and oversight and everything.
No.
No.
Let me say, I agree with you. I agree with you.
No. And Ken, I've heard Kenson on the radio say you hold them to the same standard. I've told Major League out the same thing, and I'm going to listen. And you tell me so in the station here one time that I would have beat up the NDP more if it was them doing the stropping and say, well, Labour do it. Watch me. All of them going to get the same amount of licks.
Go on, buddy.
Stropping this.
Go on, buddy. So here's the thing. And Spencer, I will be doing the same. I will be here looking on at the NDP and the works that they plan to do. Now, here's the thing, right? Yesterday, Bing, I went church yesterday.
After you don't make all that duke of money, boy.
Yes, I went church yesterday, Bing. And I went by Pastor Lemuel Samuel's church yesterday in Kingston. That little church right across by going up to Edinburgh there, right across just before you meet New Haven Funeral Home. I went to that church there yesterday and a sermon was preached and it made me smile. And it was taken from St. John chapter 5. Yeah, with the man who was on the step to the pool, the man with the infirmities for 38 years, and Jesus asked him a question. He said, "Would you like me to make you whole?" And any one of us, as the pastor said, would have been crazy, because if we go to the clinic with a cut to the A&E and a nurse come and ask you, "Wait, you want your life saved? You want me to dress your cut?" We will say they're crazy. But the thing is this, Bing. You have to want it to pursue it. Yeah? So the thing is this. My question to Vincent Sands is, do you want better? Because here's the thing. So many of us, Bing, and we have gotten into this place where now begging and dependency has become the norm of the day. Poverty, overreaching poverty and unemployment is now the norm of the day. And where we believe, and I've said it here many times and I'll say it again, where an incumbent going into an election could say, "Listen, if you move me, who you're going to have there to pay your bill when you can't pay it? Who you're going to have there to buy a gas for you?" Feeling comfortable telling people you're reveling in poverty, and without me giving to you, you cannot have anything. Are we willing, Bing, to put the work in with a proper government to get St. Vincent moving again, not dependent on handouts? I heard the Prime Minister talk about with the lying tongue and the deceitful tongue, talking about, NDP had never built any homes after any disaster, after eruption. There was no eruption during the time of the NDP in government. And then he talking about this place in America there that had the Hurricane Katrina, and talking about people still waiting for assistance. He said 1/5 of that place must be St. Vincent population and more. And he had just a few people, a few hundred people to deal with over $412 million in aid coming to St. Vincent. He didn't have to wait. $412 million in aid come here to St. Vincent. People still 2 years onward, still waiting for help after the 2021 eruption. So with all of that money, where you go? Why are people still have to be waiting? We got help. We recently opened some houses that were given by Musty Company as a grant. The government didn't spend for those. The first set of houses they gave out came from Trinidad with workers to put them up. They didn't have to pay for those. But we still have people here
They didn't have to pay for those. The train.
No, they were gifts. They were gifts. Look it up. The only prefab houses they are going to be paid for those Guyana. Well, the 50 that they are going to get now, those are different things. Those they are paying for. Those they are paying for. But here's my thing, being. Are we people? Have we gone too far? Have we gone down too far that we think now that hard work and self-preservation and all of these things are out the window?
Good point. Let me tell you something. And I get the document prepared for when I come back. There's a whole bunch of things that's tied into this whole narrative. There's a whole wide spectrum of what is going on and why so-called democratic countries, right, preach this kind of language. You know, it's a utopic vision, because all people gotta do, is sit down and examine the whole big picture, and everybody in a society that is supposedly democratic preaching the same song. You understand the point? And there's a reason for it. I mean, we will get into that more when I got more time. And the picture is right in front of most people, and they can't see.
Winston is saying the houses from Trinidad was donated by private charitable organizations.
Well, why is it in Pittsburgh? That was Ken's point.
So let me say this before I go in, because I know you had a late start and everything. So let me say this. But one of the things I wanted to talk about really this morning was that issue at the Miss SVG with Mr. Denny and a patron. That thing, they hurt my soul. And I'm hoping that patron has a lawyer to sue the pants off of Denny and also the state. And let me tell you why before I go. And this is my humble opinion. I'm not legal expert. But let me say this. When a police could say, when asked, because they removed the patron from the park.
No.
Oi.
No.
Hello. Hello.
You see when it went that far?
Hear my thing being. Yeah.
The thing with the recording?
Yeah, that went that far?
Yes. Yes. So here's my thing. My question is this thing. When the police themselves could say this is not law, it is policy. How the hell a police officer wants to come to put their hand on somebody illegally? This is not you defending the law. What is the job of the police? And you wonder why we have all of these issues happening in St. Vincent. But it's no surprise when I have somebody like your friend being the head of the police force. Because himself seems, yes, but himself seems, you know, man, when he was there, when he could not defend himself, he run. Yes. When people like him, running, you could be,
Spencer, same thing is about Kent.
I think.
Same thing is about him. The man gone.
Listen to me. Yeah.
Let me deal with Denny. They couldn't put anybody on the park. Let me deal with Denny.
Yes, never deal with Denny. But there's this residual left over that is there. And it's going to take a long time for it to come out. That is why I had asked him about the 48 hours thing, you know. And he ran. And he lied. He talking about there's a case in the court. What else in the court? The only case in the court dealing with that thing. The only court in the case dealing with that was brought by me, and we win it. Me and Jomo's Chambers, we won it. Yeah? We won it.
Spencer, one away the money.
Come down tomorrow, we go do a lunch. Bing boy.
I don't want to be seen in this company. Are you crazy? Not me at all. Not me at all.
So here's my thing, Bing. I would have understood if before people went to the park, you know, then and the CDC had said, listen, as part of you purchasing your ticket, it will be that we would not want people to be streaming live. And so let people make that decision.
How you know it's not in the fine print of the
Friday.
How you know?
Party day. So here's my thing, Bing. What kind of dictator you think you be that you could tell me I can't use my phone and record what I want in the public? In the public.
Yeah, especially if it wasn't
in the public. So here's my thing. If I didn't agree to that term with you before I bought a ticket, because if it's there and I bought the ticket, then I have to agree to your terms and conditions. By all means.
Absolutely.
But my issue is, how the hell can our police, well, some of them be so dotish? You know, and the police is telling you, because when you listen to the lady, she said, but this is policy, this is not law. And the police agree. The police itself say yes, it is not law, it's policy. So what the hell you have to do with that? Again, Bing, for me, our people need to start to exercise their rights and not be afraid to challenge the system.
That's the point, Kenson.
Challenge the system. And let me say something.
That's the point. But when you challenge, you say, wait. When you challenge the people in authority or you challenge the system, you see, the more we stay quiet, is the worse things get.
Yeah, let me
and
just
somebody got to talk.
Let me just finish it up. And I'll say this, as I said to Colin, there is
another call, maybe.
Sorry, Bing. I don't know what happened there. But let me say that there is precedence in the court. Challenge the system. And the police need to sit down, because I've spoken to so much officers who don't even know the first word in the criminal procedure code or the criminal code. Yeah. That governs them. And the criminal procedure code especially, that deals with arrest and all of these things, and people getting bail when they go to the court.
Hold on, Kenson. When you write a CXC subject, right? There's a the group. Yeah, no, not just civics. I talk about any subject, right? You must meet a certain standard to pass that subject. Okay. How come you trying to tell me that a policeman graduate from police school, hey, and he don't even know what you just said?
It don't, and it is reflected. It is reflected in the judgment. In my case, that they don't. And I'll say this. When they came to arrest me the first time in that same matter, they came and they didn't even know what they come to arrest me for. And when I started quoting the criminal procedure code to them, they didn't even know the first word in there. But anyway, I hope that this lady here lie up and go after Denny and the police. Because this is nonsense. It is time for people to know their rights and exercise them and stand on them. Being I don't have enough time to hustle you this morning, so have a good morning, buddy. Have a good morning, Spencer.
All right, buddy. You know, on a serious note, this issue with Mr. Denny, I think sometimes we allow these issues, you see, bit by bit. You see, so James used to tell me dripping water
do more damage in the long
do
run.
More damage.
I tell you, I told you, Bing, I just said it.
And Mr. Denny, for some reason or the other, have been given the power. Let us just don't put all the blame on Denny, because he's not been stopped. He's never been reined in. He continue to behave as if he owns all that he can see. All that his eyes can see and survey, which is land, village, country, and seawater. He's not been stopped, even when I am told that he is wrong. I do not know why Denny continue to be this way. And we allow it. We as a people continue to allow it to happen.
That's the point. You're losing your democratic rights over these little issues. And inch by inch by inch, like you just say, one drop of water would do more damage than a one-time rush with 50 million gallons. You understand? It will slowly drip away and keep eating away a few grains of sand every day. Whereas the one-time rush might take some in a big thing, but that one, and it's aggravating.
But it makes you wonder if the ULP is to get back into power, right? Let's just say the ULP to win the next general election.
Right.
What will happen?
That's Bing.
What will happen?
Bing. I don't know how much international news or documentaries or whatever you look at. It's the narrative all over. And it's the people who got to wake up. It's the people. You allow these things and you don't talk about it, it's only going to get worse. Who are you afraid of? Like I keep saying, typical example. And I'll always go back to it. If half the public servants, they say they ain't taking no job, what they want to do? Fire 3,000 people? Who want to do the work? You see the point? And I blame, and as I always go back to this, for the ones that have union representation, I blame the unions to some extent. A lot of it. Because they should have had the clout and the know-how to reach the public servants, whether you're in the union. As a matter of fact, all public servants should be in the union.
But Spencer, you know, you're talking, I'm thinking about this. So Denny, Mr. Denny, who is coordinator of shows for the CDC, is instructing the police.
You know what?
When it should be the other way around.
But you know what would be?
So these guys are so powerful.
You know what would have been amazing?
These guys are so
powerful.
Hold on. Them are so powerful.
Let's look at it from a different perspective. Let's say it was you. Wait. Let's say it was you recording. Wait, no man. Me. Would Denny have approached one of us the same way like he did with that young lady?
No.
That's the point.
So
that's the point.
Have been taken advantage of.
Bing. We see it all the time. It's been going on for centuries. All the time. I ain't in that. You remember when they did start to talk out about you? When they didn't want people to give ads and what I come on your radio station and say, if you don't talk about these things, it's crazy.
The downtrodden. Because this young
lady, I look at people.
Is not such. It is wrong.
But Bing,
it is wrong.
Bing, look at the level of selfishness. It seems to me like some of these guys think they're going to live here forever. They ain't going dead. I look at my partner, they bury him Saturday. Ambassador Large Vaughn Tony. Vaughn, just the clothes he have on. That's it in the box.
Hold on. Caller, good morning. Quickly, please, because we got to go to Dr. Richards.
Yeah, I have to call back. If Fitzhuggins, who I understand is the brother of Spencer, right?
Right.
And I can't believe it's his voice, Spencer. I used to be a shy guy, and now I'm hearing his voice more powerful than mine. But if it's the same person, I think I knew as a younger brother, Fitz. If Fitzhuggins in Canada is the number one man for us, Eagles have, and he can't get him to come to Canada.
What does Fitzhuggins have to do with this, really? I don't understand this. I don't get
it.
I don't get it, Dave. What's the point you're making? I don't get what Fitz has to do with it.
What is Fitz doing in Canada?
He's the Consul General, but what does Fitz have to do with this, really?
Right.
I can't talk to you.
Anyway, I can't talk to you.
No, Fitz ain't got nothing to do with the government. Fitz ain't got nothing to do with the Prime Minister coming to Canada. That's not Fitz's decision.
I don't get it. Anyway, we gotta go to Dr. Richards. Let's do this. He's not there yet. All right, he's not there yet. But let's take a quick commercial break, and maybe he will get. Oh, we need to send him the link. Did we send him the link? All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we get into things. But Kenzie coming in this morning, family. You see, I came in here to just be nice and gentle.
Nah. Kid, you see coming here. You see when I walk in, he did not know. He up to a lot of mischief this morning. People don't worry him.
It was just a surprise.
Yeah. He was up to a lot of mischief. Trust me.
Doc is there. All right, let's bring Doc in. It's now time for us to bring Dr. Richards. Let's go to the drop.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Good morning to you, Doc. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Doc.
Hey, Spencer.
How are you?
You
will see me sometime this morning after the program.
I saw you. I saw you. I think it's down by Kelly Glass place. And so what your Spencer passed me straight, boy.
Wait, no.
Yeah. Is
no,
right,
I just tell you, I was looking at one particular table.
He and Ralph went to lunch.
But you yourself didn't even say, Spencer, look me over here.
You were engaged, chatting up some ladies there, man.
Chatting up some ladies. You see?
He and the Prime Minister had dinner.
I said, wait. And I was vexed, so I said, look, Spencer, reach him, Vincent. I said, look, Spencer. I said, that's Spencer.
That was a
I said, that's
surprise.
Bones. I said, that's Bones. I said, that's Bones. I said, look, Bones reached St. Vincent and they even tell me a thing.
The same way I surprised Bing this morning, but you know, I'm coming to see him somewhere.
Hold on. Let me ask Spencer. Did you? Let me put him on the stand. Were you in the country last night?
Yes.
Did you see the Prime Minister last night?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Were you at a place where dinner is normally had? Yes, sir. No. Just answer the question. I didn't ask you all that. I didn't ask you that. Were you at a place where dinner being served last night?
I was having my own dinner. All
right. Thank you very much. Before you go, let me just say this one thing, please. Let me just read this, please, okay? Listen, if you're in need of tires, you have a vehicle in St. Vincent.
I ship my tires from Canada.
Oh, Jesus, Lord, you can't.
But you always want people, but you use their yours for free. That's why you want everybody else buy.
Doc, you see the same thing this time about he. Same thing this time about he. Listen, SVG Tires, my buddy, Shallow. Listen, the smiling guy, the smiling businessman, Shallow SVG Tires have a special going on tires. Buy a regular price and get the fourth one for free. Check out SVG Tires there in Kingston, in Paul's Avenue, right behind us. You can call them at 457-1467 or in Annisville. Now listen, let me tell you, we're in Annisville. Don't go to the wrong place in Annisville. You're heading in the Queens Drive area, St. James School, right opposite Kentucky, going up into Queens Drive. You continue to go, and that's where SVG Tires is in that location. Or you can call them for more information on their location at 456-6444. Ask to speak to Shallow yourself, please. I tell you, Shallow is like a Syrian. He will give you the best deal. You know what I mean? And he's a good man. I've never seen Shallow upset. If there's one reason you need to buy his tires, it's for that. And beside that, he's got the best tires in the country. SVG Tires. Good morning to you. Yes, Doc, good morning to you. All over to you now.
Yeah, I have a different kind of focus today, so I'll jump into it in a bit. It's a very significant day in St. Vincent, which I guess some radio stations are getting it, other radio stations, I guess you weren't sent the memo. So I don't blame you.
I got the memo, but
you got the memo.
Nobody's gonna tell me when I should do it and when I shouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. Well, you're probably talking about the wrong memo. Okay.
No, I have a pastor on my program, so I every morning.
Okay, so you got the memo. Well, let me see before I jump into that being and then tomorrow is another special emphasis day. Very, very important day to me, and because this is something that I've been hammering at time and again, issues related to mental health. So I want to dedicate my slot tomorrow to putting this on the forefront. I really want people to tune in tomorrow, listen up as we, it's Mental Health Awareness Day all across the world and tomorrow. So I want to talk about that. And today is National Day of Prayer. But because Mr. Weeks mentioned it, I'll just highlight it a little bit before I move on to the Day of Prayer. So Mr. Weeks, Bing, I've said before, he's a sharp fella. Bing, you have to admit, Mr. Weeks is a very, very sharp fella, very keen. If you saw what he did there this morning, I hope you saw what he did this morning. I thought that was well done. We were talking, Bones, last week, you may have missed it, but we were talking about matters of to what extent you can blame top civil servants in the performance of their duties. I
heard, sorry to cut you, but I heard some of it briefly because you know what? I think that came on Wednesday, right, Doc?
I think it may have been Tuesday.
Yeah, because I only heard some of it because I was so busy. Right, I didn't hear the whole program.
Okay,
but that's okay. Go ahead, continue.
But my point is, I use the word low hanging targets or soft targets or projection, and a lot of our frustration, So I raise a legitimate question: to what extent can you really hold the top civil servants to accountability? Particularly, people. I think we had on. What premise this we had on former Commissioner Mr. Colin John, and certain things were levied at him, and I innocently and really not to provoke anything. I just asked, I just looking for clarity. I even asked, to what extent is there a similarity between the Commissioner of Police and permanent secretaries, their scope, what lies under their purview, to what extent can they Jimmy policy? These are things I didn't know, and I always like to ask things because I want to be informed. Yeah, I want to be fair.
Can I cut in here for a second? I tried to call into that program when the former commissioner was on, and Doc, only one question I wanted to ask him. Because, I mean, we know, based on the experiences or the utterance or the way we see the police handle a lot of things on the
make it short, Spencer, because I have a point.
Collins command, right? All the question I only wanted to ask him was, he given all the tools and the budget to make him function properly?
We on the same wavelength.
Right.
Before you can judge him, you need to know all of that. You need to know.
But this is the point, and you know me. You know me better than that. You know, I don't just jump and say things. I look at the whole scope of things. You and I had many. We have had many.
We have disagreed. Yeah, we have disagreed a lot. Yeah.
Right.
So we on the same wavelength for once today. And you're saying, you have to know what was at his disposal to execute what he was mandated to execute, and even let us be clear on what he was actually mandated to execute. And I brought to the fore the question. I didn't want to limit it to him, but I wanted to extend it as a teaching moment to all of our top civil servants. To what extent are their hands freed to just go and do things, or to what extent are their hands tied? So I thought Mr. Weeks' presentation was very, very helpful, talking about that they are, how they are guided, to what extent they are bound, what laws, quote unquote, are written there for them. And then he went into the policy. And what was very helpful to me this morning, he basically, it's like a dance, it's like a tango. He didn't use those words, but he said the civil servants can't make policies, but the civil servants can advise on policies. I thought that was really helpful. That some of the nitty-gritty information, sometimes the upward flow of information can help to shape the policies. Basically, what he was saying is that within the purview, within the scope of the civil servants, and when they're called into accountability, they have to you have to give an account for to what extent did you provide the necessary information, the nitty-gritty, the granular stuff.
And I gave an example that didn't happen, in particular, from what I understand, with the protocols for the MRI at the medical center out in Georgetown.
Mr. Weeks gave a very definite example, which is why I said it's brilliant that he chose an example. I don't know if people saw what he was doing, but he chose an example of the bus. Yes. And I'm going to use this metaphor literally. People close to the ground, people close to the ground will probably have more nitty-gritty information, more granular stuff than the policymakers themselves. So the upward feed of information, particularly from the heads of these different ministries, including the police force, things, and the police force, the body of information that they are privy to that can help shape and formulate policies. If that body of information is not directed upward, if there's not a flow directed upward, the policies are made in a vacuum and therefore impossible to be carried out. So I appreciate what Mr. Weeks was saying this morning, is that there needs to be a tango, there needs to be a dance. Yes, the permanent secretaries and the heads of these different branches, including the police, cannot, in and of their own selves and willy-nilly say, I'm going to do this. I don't care what the minister says or whatever, I'm going to do that. You can't do that. But at the same time, you have a responsibility to shape the policy indirectly by the kind of information you provide. I appreciated the short commentary, and I appreciated the value of it and the anecdote. Well, not anecdote. Well, yeah, the example that was given with respect to the it helped with respect to the public transportation sector. It helped me to see a little bit more clearly that is not merely a top-down kind of thing. Therefore, the only person who carries the blame is the man at the top. It helped me to see that blame can be shared if information that should be channeled upward is not channeled upward. I thought that was a fair commentary, don't you think?
It was, and I agree with Lansford, because Doc, the thing is, the person at the top, the rants from people, if the lower echelons of the same area are not involved in the discussion, who got to deal with people every day and getting these questions or getting these remarks made to them? I mean, it's only fair that it should go back to the person who initiated the policy in the first place. And I agree, it should be that the person at the bottom, because the person at the bottom may not even have an answer. So they gotta go to the top, because they always tell you, I ain't know nothing but that. Let me go talk to this, or let me go talk to the PS. So if you didn't involve the people in the front line, okay, then how effective are your policies going to be? They're the ones who have to deal with the issues every day.
Yeah. We assume, therefore, that there's a listening ear at the top. We assume, therefore, that there's a receptibility to, people are receptive to an upward flow of information. And it's not necessarily deemed to be subordination, or it's not necessarily deemed to be people crossing the line when they seek to inform you. Listen, man, what you were thinking is not going to play out well. Some bosses listen to that. Some people listen. I for one, people around me will tell you that I listen to information coming to me from the people I work with that say, hey, listen, man, what you're thinking in a vacuum on the ground, we're the ones on the ground, so let's redirect you and give you some information that you need to consider. Ultimately, the call is mine, but when I get better information, I make better calls. So if you're willing to well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know about how only people. Mr. Weeks, however, has been, and this is why I valued so much his information, because he spoke as one who has been in the seat of a permanent secretary. So that was really valuable information. He knows the field. He knows how much freedom he had, and he knows to what extent that his hands had to be guided. He knows about the dance. He knows when he would. I'm sure that there were times when he was frustrated that there may have things with his wisdom that he may have wanted to do, but may not have fallen within the policy directives and policy guidelines that he was given. And I'm sure that in those situations, he would have sought to inform those who are making policy. If you know Mr. Weeks well, he probably would have sought to inform those who are making the policies and stuff. But hey, this is what we are facing. This is what's going on in the Ministry of Health. And if he had a good listener, they would have listened to what he had to say. It's expensive. You're right. Some people, and Bing, you're right. Some people listen, and therefore it will shape. Like I said last week, Bing, what did I say? I said data drives decisions. And when you have proper data coming in from your permanent secretaries and the flow throughout the branch of the ministry, and that data comes in and is shared with the policy makers, whatever data gathering tools that they may have, and that is shared, it will help to shape the policy. Some of the policies that we have here in St. Vincent, though, are not internally generated, so that's something we're gonna have to battle with on another program. I'm aware that for example, in education, I'm watching to see some of the things that determine the trajectory of our emerging education, that they're not internally generated, but they're externally imposed. And so, the foot soldiers won't have a whole lot of say, because the way the powers that be are driving education across, not just... anyway, that's another matter. But yeah, let me not go there. What I wanted to talk about this morning is the fact that this is the National Day of Prayer. Let me read something to you if I can find it. Two things I want to do, because there's a lot of prayer that's going to be happening throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines today. So let me read this to you. The churches are responsible. All of the churches in the coalition, the Christian Council, and the other evangelical Pentecostal churches. But there are a number of prayer stations that are going to be set up across Kingston. One of them is going to be outside Building and Loan. These are all from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. So if you're listening, please take note. And if you can gather there, please do that. Outside Building and Loan between 1 and 2:30, outside courts, outside Heritage Square, within Heritage Square, downtown by the Salvation Army Church, and at Singer's Corner. These are all popular places, easy to find. Different churches have taken the responsibility to have times of prayer there. You can go there and be included in the time of prayer. We are also visiting certain institutions, particularly where there are shut-ins. The Lois Panett Home, the mental health center, the Belle Isle Prison, and there will be a contingent going there because these people cannot come out and go to the prayer station. Also the Kingston Prison. I'm not seeing the Kingston, the Milton Katie Memorial Hospital there, but I presume that there's someone there at the Milton Katie Memorial Hospital that will be doing prayer. Basically, where there are shut-ins, we are making sure that these institutions are visited and that a time of prayer be held. On 5 of the radio stations, there will be prayer times going on right now, a little bit earlier. NBC, WFM, Nice Radio, Star Radio, Christ-like Radio, and right here on Boom, I am giving highlight to the thing. In many schools, there are devotions organized internally. In many of the workplaces, there are devotions that are organized internally. And all of that is going on right now. And then the prayer stations throughout Kingston from 1 to 2:30, where those who are available can gather. And then the prayer rally at 3 o'clock this evening at Heritage Square. There's a formal prayer rally from 3 to 6 o'clock, where all and sundry are invited to come out and join with us in this day of prayer for our nation. It is not something to be taken lightly, and I want to take the rest of my time to read. It will take me 2 minutes, perhaps, to read something from the scripture. Everyone can pray. And here's a prayer that everyone can pray. It's a prayer that was said by David. And one of the main prayers that anyone can say before we even ask for anything, before we say, God, give me this, or God, give me that, before we can say as a nation, God, bless this or bless that, one of the chief prayers that we need to pray is a prayer of confession, repentance, and petition for forgiveness. And Psalm 51, to the nation, please. Psalm 51, nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's a prayer that you can pray in these words or in simpler words. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgression. Blot out my transgressions. Wash away all my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgression and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are proved right when you speak and justified when you judge. Surely I was sinful at my birth, sinful from the time my mother conceived me. Surely you desire truth in my inner parts. You teach me wisdom in the innermost place. Now hear this. This is a prayer we all can pray. Cleanse me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out my iniquity. Let me say that again. We all can pray that to God. Hide your face from my sins and blot out my iniquity. And then verse 10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew the right spirit within me. Cast me not away from your presence, or take not your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation. Grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. And may we as a nation cry out to God in this prayer to create in us a clean heart and to renew the right spirit within us as a people. The right spirit towards God, our Creator. Father, help us to acknowledge you. Father, help us to relate to you in the way you want us to relate to you. But Father, also help us as a nation to relate to our brothers and sisters in this nation horizontally, O God, in the way that you want us to relate to our fellow men. Help us as a nation, O God, to return to a love for you, God, vertically, to love you, God. But help us, Father, help us, whether we are on the same page with others or on a different page with others, help us to love our neighbors as ourselves, as you would have us do. That we should love brother and sister, for how can we say we love God, whom we cannot see, if we don't love our brothers and sisters who we can see? Help us as a nation to love you, God. Help us to love our fellow man. And may your love continue upon us. I pray for our nation today, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
That's it for today.
That was
Yes,
quite
Bing.
an interesting prayer, and you said something at the end of the prayer. How can we love God who we can't see? Or we can't love our brothers who we can see? And brothers here mean brothers and sisters.
Yes, Bing.
I wasn't here last week, as you know, and my staff contacted me and told me about the day of prayer, and I was like, we have my pastor's on here every week, every day, every living morning. So we're just gonna continue to do what we do.
Yes, Bing.
That day of prayer, this day of prayer, is initiated by whom, if you don't mind?
To be honest with you, every year with a number of things that happen in October, and part of our making it our national month of celebration is not just one day of independence, but there are a number of events leading into independence. And so annually we have the Monday just before independence. The Monday is set aside as a day of prayer. The Monday early up, I should say, the Monday early up in October. It varies sometimes, first Monday, second Monday, day of prayer. And also the Sunday now before independence, typically every year we have a church service for the independence. It's an ecumenical service for all and sundry. This year it's going to be at the Kingston Baptist Church. It's going to be on October 22nd, and it's 4 p.m. right here at the church. Everyone knows where to find Kingston Baptist Church, but all of the different church organizations are going to be represented. Like I said, it's an ecumenical service, and it's a service that people should put on their calendar, in as much as you go to the Victoria Park on the morning of independence to hear the speeches and to watch the parade. I think that more and more we should push for a national service geared towards our independence, to worship God together as a nation. It's very symbolic that we worship God as a people, not as a party, but as a people together. So I'm going to be pushing very hard for a strong attendance to our October 22nd service. But that, to answer your question, Bing, these are things that are on the calendar as part of our independence celebration.
And this calendar is set by the government?
The government's committee, the government's organization that organizes independence.
And it would have been signed off by the cabinet, of course.
The cabinet, in as much as the cabinet, we are not talking. This is not a ULP thing. This is a government thing.
Yeah. Government. So the cabinet is government.
In as much as which is why we typically at the day of prayer we invite both because although it is organized by the government, the control and the organization of the thing is left to the ministers. For example, this fantastic day of prayer with all of the different things. I left out one of the areas we are praying, the different crime hotspots. We are going to the different crime hotspots and we are praying. All of these things are not organized by the ministry or the ecclesiastical affairs or anything like that. These things are organized by, it's just basically the day is set, but the organization of the Christian element, the church element, that is left to us as pastors to see how best we can organize that.
Okay, so I wanna specifically get to something with the day of prayer, Doc, and please allow me, okay?
I will allow you.
Yes. So the day of prayer, which is today, uh, how can our prayer leaders stand by in a day of prayer, and yet, as you pray there, a very interesting prayer, touching prayer, and at the end of it, you said, "Allow us to love you." Someone
Who
who
we
we
didn't
can't
see.
see, who we can't see, but who we can see. But we have the leaders of our country, the prime minister in his capacity as leader of the country, still saying that he's not speaking to the leader of the opposition. What message does that send? And within the day of prayer, how is that going to work?
I'm being a couple of things. I'm glad that you asked that, frankly speaking. A couple of things. First of all, those are not my words. First John chapter 4, I think verse 17. First John, the book of First John. Right and simply, the word of God says, it's not me again being. This came from the word of God. How can you say you love God? All right? That you can see if you don't love your fellow men that you can see. It says if you say you love God, but you don't love people, the truth of God is not in you. This is not me saying this thing, this is the Bible. If you say you love God, but you can't love your fellow man, the truth of God is not in you, you're a liar. If you can't love your fellow man, Christ himself, when he was on earth, he said there are many commandments, but break it down to just two. If you could follow two commandments born, you have it made. And the two commandments God says, Christ said to follow, he said, love God with all of your heart. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. It is impingent, it is necessary. It is basically mandated upon us. Don't talk about loving God if you can't love fellow men. So the key role for us to show how much we love God, we must love our fellow men, bones. We must love our fellow men, and we must demonstrate the love. We must demonstrate the love so that it's an agape love. It is being is not something that you just talk. It is seen that there is harmony. Let me tell you what love is. Love is harmony.
That's why, Doc, I'm so receptive to everybody.
Love is fellowship. Love is forgiveness. Love is peacemaking. Love is sacrificing. This is demonstrated the love of God towards us in that he sacrificed for us. So if I love you, Bing, you know it ain't matter what you do me. You know it ain't matter what you do me, Bing. You can't stop me from loving you because God has mandated that I should love you. And sometimes you might say something or do something that might not really congruent with my feelings, but I still love you. Spencer, same with you. I ain't have vex with anybody because God has said, this is how I show love of God, by loving others. So I'm on a mission to love other people. I think leaders should be on a mission to show love, not vengeance, not hatred, not grudge, not spite. Because when you begin to show vengeance and hatred and love and spite, that is the antithesis of love. It's the opposite of love. So you have to now show the opposite of that. If somebody wrongs you, then you try to do them good. If they curse you, you still bless them. Now that is love. So what I look for in our leaders, Bing, I'm glad you asked this. What I look for our leaders is that they be the ones to reflect this camaraderie. That they be not among their own group and their tribe, but they be the ones to reflect this camaraderie, this forgiveness, this gentleness of spirit, this accommodation, this sense of grace and mercy towards others, this sense of forgiveness towards others. And when we, as a citizenry or a country, when we see this in our leaders, we are moved to emulate that. Our leaders must show love, Bing, to answer your question, and I hope I answered it properly.
Let me ask you a question, Doc.
Yes, go ahead.
Knowing, I mean, we look to church leaders for leadership, right? And you're preaching love this morning, and forgiveness and everything else.
Yes.
Now, have you ever asked, as a leading church pastor, okay, have you ever invited the PM and the opposition leader to your church at the same time
Not at the same time, no.
Okay, good. Now, you see, this is the point, Doc. I mean, and I don't want you to take offense to it. I think it's up on you to now that I'm bringing it out in the public. I think you should do that and just put them in and put them on the same bench to sit down side by side. I don't care how much security detail, who want to bring what. The point is the perception that will be coming from the church as a church leader, that you put the two leaders in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in your church, okay? And they can reconcile their differences because it starts at the church. All right?
The church has a role. There's some dynamics there. Do you know, Spencer, that in this country, not everyone responds the same way to initiatives. Some will gladly take that initiative, and others will not gladly take that initiative.
But then why call for a day of prayer
when we don't have the togetherness from the two leaders
of national reconciliation?
You see the point? So, and people are not stupid
and
now.
we know that, listen, these guys are not serious.
It's supposed to start there.
You know, I mean, we're not stupid. You don't think the average child don't know the Prime Minister? He said it publicly on a number of times.
And I think you have enough. I think, Doc, you have developed enough respect, especially from the leaders in this country, that you could make that connection and hold them to it, because you have a responsibility as a pastoral. You know.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And don't get me wrong. Let me say this guardedly. I do have conversations with leaders in this country. Okay, let me say that. And if there's a chance to gently correct and gently rebuke or gently say something, I do say it. There's greater receptivity from some than from others. And there are others that I don't even engage for various reasons. So it's not the same with everyone.
No, Doc, I know that. But listen.
Spencer, let me just say something before I forget it. But Pastor, and I'm calling you Pastor, not Dr. Richards.
You're right.
Pastor, normally on different days I say Dr. Richards for different reasons, right?
Yeah, I
Pastor,
get you.
if Dr. Friday was in the country this morning, today, on National Day of Prayer, right? That event up at Heritage Square, I know for a fact that Prime Minister Gonsalves will be there. I know for a fact, I could assume that Dr. Friday would have been there. And on the same stage, on one side and the other side, we have two people. We have a man who say he's not talking to he. But we're going to stand up there and pray and be hypocrite.
Let me correct that.
Pray without work is what really?
On previous occasions when we have invited both the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, Dr. Friday, and they, on occasion when they have come, we have seen them shake hands and hug and all of that.
It's not genuine.
Don't judge, Bing. Don't judge. Are you saying which one is not genuine? The Dr. Friday is
Prime
not
Minister,
genuine?
he's not genuine.
The Prime Minister is not
said
genuine?
it many times. And I'm not speaking to him. I don't want nothing to do with
the
him.
narrative, that kind of narrative that the Prime Minister,
he just never said it.
Let me just say this: that kind of narrative, Spencer, that the Prime Minister engages in, I don't think that is helpful, honestly. I really don't. I've said it before. Please hear me out. I've said it before. I do not condone it. What the Prime Minister said. If he has said it, and when he has said it on an occasion where he publicly has said that does not promote healing, it does not promote fellowship. Sometimes though, you say things for political, and it's not well advised. You say things for political gain, for posturing, not necessarily. Hold on. Let me finish.
No, Doc is right.
Hold on, Bing. Hold on, Bing. You might say things to gen up your base, which politicians do that. You understand politics. You say things that are not necessarily germane, true from the inside, but you say things that you throw the red meat so to speak, you drip some blood. So you say stuff like that because it is popular with the base. Hold on. But in your heart, your heart of heart,
but
you don't really have, and you know of other politicians in the past, because you have been close to, for example, your father-in-law. You have seen where publicly there has been the appearance of animosity, but you have seen them drink and knock glasses together. So I don't. But nonetheless, even if it is a public facade, I am saying I don't tolerate that. It's not right.
But Doc,
it's not right. It is not right.
It
is not right.
I agree, but if it's a public facade, okay, and here we are, you preach this probably a million times in your church. What comes out of a man's mouth defiles it. Nobody can see really and truly, because you speak about it's not coming from the heart. You can't see inside somebody's heart.
Yeah, don't judge, right?
So
That's what I'm saying. Don't judge.
So the facade that you create because of politics, right? The what you say. Some people, maybe most or all would take it literally.
That's the
because
danger
you
of that.
throw it in your actions too.
Give me a minute.
There is, and we ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Spencer,
we ain't gonna sugarcoat it. We call it for what it is. Now I respect the way you're trying to put it across, right? And this is where you and I always have our little tips, right? Because you got a certain,
he has a role to play.
And I mean, but this is part of the system too, Bing. If the church, if preachers are not willing to call wrong, when there is,
but you just heard me say
no.
that.
But I ain't just talking about this one situation, Doc.
I don't commend it. I don't commend it.
No. But I ain't just talking about this one situation. I'm talking about a lot of different things.
I'm speaking specifically about this situation.
Right? We got to stop sugarcoating things.
We have enough time to deal with the other things, right?
Okay.
But I'm saying today's a National Day of Prayer. It ain't no slip of the tongue. Everybody know how I love Prime Minister Gonsalves and my admiration for his intellect, and there are many reasons why I love Dr. Gonsalves, why I love him, right? And for which I love him, right? I love to hear him speak. I love him when he's in full flight. I admire that, right? It ain't no slip of the tongue when you've said it, not once, not twice, not 3 times. And you want to tell me that, it may not be genuine when he says it?
That's the point.
You want to tell me that when a man says many times, I don't want nothing to do with Friday, Lorraine. It's just Lorraine. When I said in an interview with him, I said, but you're prime minister, this is the leader of the opposition. You have to communicate. How would you communicate with him? I would write him. But I don't want nothing to do with Lorraine.
But I tell you something that the Bible says.
I ain't nothing with Lorraine. And
if we regard, it says something that the Bible says in Luke 14:27, I think it is. It says if we are not willing to forgive, and I'm just saying this for the nation, whether it is a prime minister or whomever it is, I am constrained to say what the Bible says. And I will say it with no water in my mouth. Luke 14:27. I think I'm just doing it off the top of my head, but I think it's Luke 14:27 that says, if you're not willing to forgive one another, it categorically says, neither will the Heavenly Father forgive you. You got what I just said there?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
No, I am saying, no. What the Bible says is, if there are people who wronged you, everybody hear this, if there are people who wronged you, and you are not willing to forgive them, this is categorical in the Bible. It says, the Heavenly Father will not forgive you. Now, I want God's forgiveness, babe. People wrong me. People wrong me sometimes in the worst way, but guess what? I am constrained to forgive them, Bones. I have to forgive them because the Bible says, if I don't forgive them, the Heavenly Father will not forgive me.
Doc, I know exactly what your message is saying, You basically say it. I can say it if you want to say it. You basically say it. If the prime minister truly doesn't want to have it, if it's a sin to him, to God, and he make up for it at some point in time, he got to answer to God when he reach in heaven.
But he said it's wrong.
Basically, that's what it is.
But I cannot. I know. No,
you can't say it.
Gentlemen,
I can say it. I can say it for you.
I'm saying, Pastor, before you go, Pastor and Spencer, we talking about a man, Prime Minister Gonsalves, who can quote the Bible from beginning to end, the old, the new, and the ones to come, the one ABC, BC. He can quote every chapter, scripture, and verse. He knows every line out of his head. And of course, he knows that. But still, he is saying, not of a slip of a tongue, publicly, on many occasions, I don't want nothing to do with Lorraine. What does that say?
I could say, Bing, please, and I have to end. Well, let me clarify that. There's a difference between reconciliation and restoration, forgiveness and reconciliation and restoration. In abuse relationships, for example, that I have counseled, and where people have significantly wronged another, I still teach forgiveness, but I don't teach restoration. All right? I don't teach that you have to put yourself back into the same kind of relationship. It is possible, and I've taught this, I've talked about it is possible to forgive someone, but say, I don't really want to have a relationship with them. And you understand what I'm saying? It is possible.
I don't. Because I can't see what the leader of the opposition can.
Hold on. Allow me to draw anecdotally from what I've counseled. And I advisedly, there are some situations that I have advised. I have counseled. Can't really give out advice like that, but I've counseled whether or not you want to, having forgiven this person that have time and time again wronged you in this particular way, if you want to go back into the relationship with that person. So I've counseled along the line, man, you have to forgive. You let the thing go. Don't let it stew in you. Don't do that. You're damaging yourself. Forgive, but move on a different trajectory to your life. Don't put your life back down in the dungeons. And sometimes, from anecdotally, I know, but times that you can, depending on the nature of the relationship, you can forgive whatever wrong was done, but you don't have to restructure the relationship or structure the relationship the same way it used to be. Nonetheless, and this thing, so many levels to this, nonetheless, you cannot publicly posture as a leader. You cannot, Spence, you would agree with me. You, as a man that, whoever it is that is called, if I am saying that I'm calling the nation together to unite, then I have to become the model of unity, and my speech, my narratives, everything I say, even things that are explicit or things that are implicit, I have to be very sure that people read me right so that they don't see something in me that promotes the antithesis of what I am, the negative of what I am trying to put out there. And if I am not here to judge the Prime Minister, because I don't know, I can't speak for him and say, Bing, and neither can you or Spencer speak and say there's unforgiveness in his heart. I can't do that. I can go by the narrative that he is saying, and I can advise on what comes out of his mouth, but I can't sit here and say he has not forgiven something that needs to be forgiven. On either side, I can't say Dr. Friday has not forgiven. They're the ones to know that. I can say this, however, that a man can forgive, whether it's Dr. Friday or Dr. Gonzalez. If there's a wrong between them or hurt or bad blood between them, they can forgive each other. But because both are politicians, you're also doing the political calculus. And you might calculate, man, look, it's better for my base to posture a particular line. That is not necessarily in congruence with what's in your heart, but you're posturing, I'm my own man, I don't have to listen to you, I don't have to talk to you and all that kind of stuff. You are posturing that. But even if you're doing that, so that is just peripheral. It's not a matter of unforgiveness. It's just political calculus and posturing. Even if you are doing that, it is not advisable, because it sends a picture to the people that this is how we can deal with each other also. I'm just saying that it's not healthy for the nation. That's all I'm saying, Bones. Okay?
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much.
I'll see you soon, buddy, within the hour.
Catch you tomorrow morning, Doc.
Bones, I have a coffee grinder. Have a good
Yes,
day.
coffee grind. I don't. When I want my coffee grind, I have to send it to Beckway. I'm not as fortunate as him. Thank you,
I
thank
see
you,
you in the
Pastor.
hour when I leave it.
Thank you, Pastor.
You all have a blessed day of prayer. Nation
You
of
know,
Civilians and the
I
Grenadines.
don't care what anybody says. I see somebody on the live saying, but what did Dr. Friday do? I do not care what Dr. Friday have done, right? Coming from a man who knows the Bible, back, front, center, middle, top, bottom, who can quote every chapter and verse and line of the Bible. Coming from a man who is signing off a day of prayer every single year at Independence Time. Coming from a man who calls himself a good Catholic boy. Coming from a man we see on social media, videos of him dancing with the Shaker Baptist. Coming from a man when you hear him on the pew praying for the dead,
So
you will think that the dead is going to raise.
So you
A
heard,
man like that
So
to
you-
say that I don't want nothing to do with
Hold on,
Lorraine.
hold on.
I don't care.
Go back to what Dr. Richard said in his commentary. Remember you remember he used these two words?
Taking.
You remember he used these two words? Political facade.
So the day of prayer is a political facade.
No,
then. But it is.
Bing.
I am not taking this. No, see, I'm not giving any credence. I'm not taking it seriously.
You got to understand politics in a bigger way.
But maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
You got to.
I don't.
That is why Doc used those two words, political facade.
Caller, tell me.
Hey, Bing.
Yes.
I have to say, sadly, even as somebody who has grown up in a Christian home and so, I have to agree with you with this day of prayer thing. It's a facade.
Tell you now.
For me, it's a political facade.
Bing, in many
and it's so sad. It is so sad that Christians and so forth allow themselves to be used like this. Because we are seeing where the leader of the country, and I was trying to get him when Dr. Richards was on to challenge him here on this. Because as a pastor, he knows better. And this is one time, Dr. Richards, that you know, I will come here and I will have to give it to you publicly. Because you can't come and tell me that it's a judgment on somebody when the man showing you. You can't tell me you don't know what in the man's heart when he's showing you. Stop assume what is not there. The man has shown you what is in his heart numerous times, even overseas. Go back to the last regional summit that they had when he was talking about crime and so forth. When he mentioned the high maintenance women. Yes, go back and listen to that. The vitriol within this man when it comes to the leader of the opposition and all of these things, and it's out there. So stop trying to defend the indefensible.
You see, Kenson. A lot of people they hear, but they're not listening. A lot of people hear, but they don't listen. And I think this is one of the reasons why. The one thing Doc always said to me, you would make an excellent debater because I listen, especially if it's interesting. If you go back to any politician and you look at the way each of them in most cases have a significant way that they operate, and all you do, you follow from the time they started right up to where they are today, you would know basically a lot of it is politics.
Of course, but Spencer, you're going around the bush. Listen to me. When it comes to politicians, you could know who is for togetherness, who is against. We talk togetherness, but when you have the leader of the country from the one pushing division, even now, when you expect the country to go and we wonder why crime is so high, why people not forgiving one another and all of these things. This thing really burned my heart this morning. It really burned my heart this morning.
Don't drive with pressure, boy.
All right, buddy. All right.
We eventually go and everything's still the same.
You know, it is really sad. It is really sad. and then we come and we say, oh, let's have a day of prayer and
Bing.
let's sing Humbaya and.
But you know who I hold. You know who I hold basically responsible for a lot of where we are today.
Who?
The people.
Of course, it's the people.
The people.
Yeah.
The people is who allow this.
To pass the pander into the base.
The people. You know why? Because they don't see the whole collective. If you are okay as an individual, you don't care about the next guy.
Yeah.
And that is the problem we have. And over the centuries, the people in charge, whether it's a monarch, all right, or government, elected representatives, they've been tweaking this thing so much, and it all is doing is dividing the people. As long as you're okay, you don't give a damn about the next guy.
True.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Number one, and people gotta start sitting down and thinking, really, let me put everything into perspective. Let me look at my life. Let me look at the next person who lives next to me. Let me look at somebody down the road and really and truly evaluate their life compared to somebody else and see if you're supposed to be a Christian. Let's say the person is worse off than you and you could help them. How much people really actually help somebody who's less off than them? Where's the Christianity in that? You see the point?
Guys,
so as long as they're good,
we see the phone
that's
lines
it.
ringing, but we way over time. I don't know, kid. What you telling me? Okay, all right, kids, to take it. All right. So we can wait. Listen, guys, we're way over the time. Jill will not be in this morning. We would have Cap One in for her this morning. That's why we took some extra time, because I don't know if he's here yet. Give him some time to be here because he had to be informed.
So then he might as well continue until.
No.
What word are you
I have
being?
things to do. I have things to do.
No, me too.
I have things to do. No, but it is wrong. It is wrong. And we need to call. You see this thing with Mr.
No, look,
Anthony
the call coming back.
Nah, you see this thing with Mr.
Teddy call the man.
With Anthony Denny. We got to stop that. There's so many people who know that is wrong. There's so many ULP people who've told me that Anthony Denny is behaving too much. Caller, good morning.
Bing, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
Nice to see you battling the radio. This morning is one morning when they really prove with the true bad man already. You hold on them sailors. Any sailor could sail a boat in calm waters, but you take the real sailor when it's rough, eh? But Bing, fear has been so ingrained in this land here, has been so ingrained in this land that people are afraid, mortally afraid to speak up on issues even though they know that things are wrong. You check out the population of St. Vincent Spencer. Most people under 30 know nothing else other than ULP.
I agree. I totally agree.
And over those 25 almost years, they have been brainwashed into not being able to think for themselves, not being able to speak out on issues. Not many of them. Not all of them. All of them.
I know. I conversed with him the other day. He was having a conversation. I called him from Canada. He said, Bones, imagine, right? I meet some students, just finished CXC. And they were talking. They've been in some group somewhere. And he asked them, he said, listen, you guys know, I think they were done by the E.T. Joshua Center.
Yeah, you told me that story.
Yes.
You told me that story.
Don't, I see, I beg remember. Because they were done by the E.T. Joshua Center. The person asked, the guy asked the students, he said, listen, do you know who E.T. Joshua, this center,
name
where? Yeah, who this is named after? No. And you say, they just finished the XE, right? they all agree. They don't know who E.T. Joshua was. That is so. I understand the point you're making,
but
they only know.
Yeah,
you know. But you see, here's my issue. And it's not just St. Vincent. I've been following something with the educational system throughout the democratic countries. And what you're seeing, right, is the curriculums right, that they put together.
Don't change the topic, no, man.
No, but you know, it's good.
You're talking different.
It's good. No, but it's good. Let me finish. This is all part of what you said.
Finish your point.
No, but this is all part of what you said. The curriculum is geared in a particular way to avoid issues, like to avoid that kind of history.
No, the politicians themselves do that. Once they get into power, and if you've seen it over the years, they've tried to dismantle every single thing that the NDP would have done for this country. They tried to dismantle it and knock it out of the minds of people. I asked some students the other day if they know. One boy was saying and made a post on Facebook, what has the NDP done for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Why should I vote for them? But I know him personally. And I took him up on it and I started to point out to him a number of the things that the NDP, and he never know that. He didn't even know that.
Whose fault is that, though? Whose fault is that?
But if he
is that his fault? His fault?
All are we.
Is that his fault?
All are we. All are we. Because we don't talk.
No, but we can say the same thing.
We don't teach Vincent.
No. Let me tell you. I mean,
when a teacher could go in an exam and put down symbols of independence, symbols of St. Vincent independence, and put a picture of the Prime Minister as a symbol of St. Vincent independence, what does that tell you?
Yeah. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing we could have said for the NDP, because the Labour Party people could tell you, well, Mitchell destroyed all the factories down Camden Park and this and that. So it's almost like if they just want to erase the memory of everybody who gets out of politics. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. But you see, this is the problem.
Don't
No, but this is the problem. The people got to wake up and look at the whole picture.
Today's the National Day of Hypocrites.
I ain't telling you to vote for ULP. I ain't telling you to vote for NDP. Make your own decision based on your analysis. Critical thinking.
And we don't do that. We knock that out of the minds of the people.
Yeah, I agree.
NGOs are gone.
I agree.
Gone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's the National Day of being a hypocrite. National Day of
Now that you're gonna get that from me, though. I can tell you that is one guy.
You could stop.
No, not me. No, not me. I could never be a hypocrite. I'll tell you what I gotta tell you, and that's the end of the story.
I'm saying today is the National Day of Hypocrites.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they will all go and hold hands and sing.
Yeah.
Lord.
Right time to turn the back. What's he dress here with?
Yeah.
That's how he dress short.
Yeah. But she couldn't do something that with
you. You understand how she is? Try to way along here. What's the makeup? How you go on? You know, them kind of thing, boy. Yeah, people real critical.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Hypocrites, boy, I tell you.
Guys, I want to thank you very much. We went way over time.
Anyway, this was an impromptu, guys. I just dropped it on my partner. You didn't know. I tell you, he didn't know.
You messaged me last night and you told me you sending something to the station.
Right.
And look out for somebody who coming to bring it up. Next thing, this man just turned up. I'm like, what the hell? When you're Vincent, the country belongs to you too.
Yeah, I always tell you, and Vincent and Amy say this many times. I live in Canada for over 40 years. My heart has never ever left St. Vincent. Why you think I was coming here on Mike and behave so now? Because I've seen I look at the trajectory where all these countries are heading, and people are not speaking up enough. They're not, and they're not holding their elected representatives to the responsibilities that they were elected to do. Mm-hmm. When was the last time either the opposition or the governing body now? When was the last time you see them hold a town hall meeting of significance?
Last night.
No. Outside the country. I mean, inside the country. That's the point. They don't communicate enough with their people.
We're not taking any more calls. Okay,
all right, it's
we're
crazy.
Not taking any more calls. We're wrapping it up now.
Everybody seems to be more busy than everybody else.
Listen, guys. All the railing Anthony Denny for me, please. Because people like him just make.
Next time you having one, I'm sure I go in and record unless they put it in the policy.
Yo, Anthony Denny told me last year that he don't care what I say or the Prime Minister say. I will not be broadcasting anything to do with 9 Morning. I said, well, you own 9 Morning. Then you have the title deed for 9 Morning.
The man got some kind of power that we know.
You have the title deed for 9 Morning.
Yeah.
I wrote to the National.
He patterned the word 9 Morning.
To the National 9 Morning Committee. We wrote to them saying, listen, this is what we want to do, this one thing. Until then he said, no, absolutely not. So I said, well, wait. So if VC3, who you say have the rights to it, the patent it according to them.
Yeah, the patent.
Is in Richland Park broadcasting. I can't go North Leeward and broad. Nope.
You, and what you do?
I say, all right, boss. You have to pick your battles.
I mean, Stoops and Teeth on the radio is that good thing, but I tell you something.
You have to pick your battles.
You see, that is why.
No.
Within certain echelons in this place, they don't like me.
Everything will come to an end.
Yes, everything comes to an end. Comes to an end. I'm telling you.
What happened on Saturday night? More power again. Imagine he is instructing the police. When the police telling him, listen, this is not law. He's saying this is my policy. So you take according to what we're hearing.
You see, them people say something. Them people, local people, local people that say, local people that say, monkey know a street to climb.
Eddie, y'all gonna be on top. I told him so on the phone when me and he had the bass about 9 morning. I say, you're gonna be on top forever, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Well, I know
you're gonna be on top.
Well, it's
forever.
only now you go past me even more straight.
No, me and when you meet me, we the shout out to one another. But you're gonna be on top forever, buddy. You're gonna be on top forever.
Danny boy, if I see you passing on the post office again, I'm stopping you this time. I ain't on the post, man. I can stop you. You and I got a discussion on that.
Whatever you do, don't take out your phone, eh?
Yeah.
Because you might stop you.
This is stupidness. Pure nonsense. Pure nonsense. And I tell you,
signs of more things to come.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's like them fellas that say, it's the same thing they tell them policeman and them. Twice a civilian, once a policeman.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
What?
Mitchell uses the in and out club.
Think you're going to be there forever?
In and
How
out
is the
club.
public going to deal with you when you're not there anymore? You can't live in an isolated wall by yourself and feel you could survive. So what's going to happen when you come back as an ordinary guy? I don't understand these people.
Power forever.
There's a whole bunch of them.
That's why we have our mic.
Whole bunch of them.
No, I talk about Denny for the rest of this week. I call him name for the rest of the whole. Every morning I bring up your name, because you can't continue like this. And listen to me. I spoke to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister spoke to me. Say, well, you can't. You hold it. That is wrong. This is a national festival. This is a national festival.
That's
man
like
telling me. He don't care.
One thing I gotta tell you,
you're not broadcasting.
So one time on the
you're not broadcasting.
One time on the Sunday morning program, the one where you say, yes, Mr.
Worship
Prime
the Prime
Minister.
Minister. Worship the Prime Minister.
Cecil Ryan and P. John. You used to listen. That's why you had called me. You remember them fellas just cut me off when we talked about COVID, right?
I listen. Worship the Prime Minister.
P. John didn't call my name, but Cecil Ryan insists, man, call him my name. You know who? I leave them. I get them all the rope. I leave them for weeks. And I just go back on WeFM and I said to them, you two nincompoops believe that all you could use the Prime Minister to intimidate me?
We're going overtime. This is the longest OMG ever went. Thank you very much, folks. We had fun this morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning. The Cutlass should be back tomorrow. He's out.
He coming in tomorrow? I might come in and join him.
He should be back tomorrow morning.
All right.
So when he back, it's more back.
I know, we can see.
Thanks, Spencer, for showing up. You just showed up. When did
I made your program today. You should have gave me a free spot for your next
When did you come into the country?
Last week, Wednesday evening.
It's so long you been here? And when did you have your dinner with the Prime Minister? Last night?
Boy, you gave me that. The man didn't even offer me a drink.
The man didn't
offer me a drink. What are you talking about?
You had dinner with the Prime Minister.
No, he didn't offer me a drink, boy.
No,
boy. No. He turned it back on me last night.
No. That will never happen. Not you.
I'm telling you.
Not you. Hey, guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning, God's willing. Until we meet again, some answers. Let's roll out. All right, we love you, folks.
Kid,
love you.
You might see me tomorrow morning, buddy.
Kid ain't gonna be here tomorrow morning. Kid ain't gonna be here tomorrow.
All right.
Kid ain't gonna be here tomorrow morning. Shady will be back with us tomorrow morning.
Oh, my partner?
Yeah, Shady will be back tomorrow morning.
Yeah, well, I might pop in.
Let's go run some ads until we meet again.
106.9.
Friday, the 13th of October, we are going back to
Arnesville as CONCACAF Nations League football action returns. After 2 wins, Vincy Heat now takes on French Guiana on home soil.